Go for it.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Blades in the Day in the Dark. This is our Blades in the Dark game called Blades Come Out, where we have a wonderfully rotating cast of crew every week, which is the good thing about having a larger group of players for this, is we can always find enough people to play on any given Sunday. I am your storyteller. I'm going to call it Storyteller. It may have a different name somewhere, I don't know. Throck. I am at Throck Plays on the tweeters, and I run our Friday night D&D game, our Saturday afternoon D&D game, and this wonderful crew right here for Blades in the Dark. So before we get started, let's say hi to everyone. I normally start right up next to me, but this time I'm going to flip it backwards. I did it yesterday too, and start all the way on the bottom with Miss Kimmages.
Why you gotta start with me? I have like 5 things to click before I get back to this window, man. All right. I'm Kimmages, and my Twitter is @KimmagesTV, and I play regular video games on the Twitches sometimes, and then I play D&D on Fridays and Sundays here. And today I play Cordelia, and she is a courtesan who also really likes her delirium, and shit is weird, and I'm so excited to do this today.
Yay! Kimmages is also, whoa. All right, so Than is going to get an advantage today with that first 500 bits already happening. I love it. Thank you, Shogun, for that.
Nice, Shogun.
We haven't figured out what the 500 bits level is yet for Blades in the Dark, but I'll make sure it's something appropriate. And if you don't see it, feel free to yell at me in chat, or Than, you can remind me of a good time. And you know what it can be?
You could easily make
anytime
it
something bad happens, I'm going to be like, can we just make it good?
Yeah, what we can do is I can give you an extra bonus die for free, or you can increase the effect of a roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do either.
Good call.
I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah. So we figured that out on the fly. Kimmages is also one half of the crew that founded Welcome to the Party, and I forgot to say that, and I normally don't because I love her so hard. So yay for
the
Kimmages
much better
being
half, right?
always the much better half, and the much more organized half. Next up, let's go
how it
to.
is.
I'm gonna toss it around a little bit and go to Ayami next.
I see how it is. All right. So yeah, I'm Ayami 302. I play Roxy. She's the hound of the group. Basically, she wants to murder wise people if she can. But yeah, I was on Twitch for a while, but then I kind of took a little hiatus. Actually, a really long hiatus. So I'm really sorry for my audio. I don't know what to do. I've restarted my computer. I've restarted Discord. I don't know what to do, so I'm very sorry. I'll try to keep it on the down low, but I sometimes get really excited and get really loud. So I apologize if I kill you. You can find me across the board, Ayami302 on Twitter, on Twitch, the Discords, all that great stuff. I'm actually going to be in another stream on Tuesday on the Forefronts. We're playing Mouse Guard at 5 p.m., so it'll be really fun. Love him. Throck, he says that he knows the channel, the Welcome Party RPG, and he loves the channel. So
Yeah, he's here every once in a while. Love to see him.
Yeah, he was really excited. He was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "I love him." And so yeah, but yeah, you guys can see me on there. I play D&D four times a week, but I'm actually in 5 games now. So
Nice.
It's a lot, but I love it. So it's great. So I'm very excited to play this game after being off last week. So very excited to get back into it.
Sweet. Than Rand.
And I'm not sick.
Yay, not sick.
Yeah.
Would pick me next when I put a big amount of food.
I'm like a perfectly timed server. I come up and
You
ask if
were
you're
like,
doing
okay.
well.
Exactly what he
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
He just took a bite. Let's get him.
It's exactly why he said it.
Hi, I'm Dan Rand, and I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. And I stream all kinds of games, but mainly Elder Scrolls Online right now because it's amazing. I play in 3 different games here on Welcome Party RPG. Play this one, and then I play Friday nights Heart of Darkness, and then every other Tuesday night on the Mimic Nights. That one's really fun. And then, yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and everything at Dan Rand. So
Sweet. And then last but certainly not least, Mr. Castle Max Steven.
Hello, friends. I am Castle Mac Steven, part of the Castle Mac crew that streams D&D several times a week. But more importantly, right now, I am Sebastian Connellan, aka Songbird, and I want just one thing. The entire world.
So not too much. Not too much.
Trying to get in a character, trying to get evil.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Speaking of getting evil, let's get into some crime. So when last we left our intrepid team of cutthroats, scallywags, and ne'er-do-wells, they had just completed a very interesting paying off of a debt for, it was Than, or it was for Taps, right? Oh no, it was for Songbird. In order to get a meet with a rival gang, one of Songbird's contacts asked for a little of their own help to go pick up some interesting information from a certain lady whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. Lady Lorette, that's right. Her name was Lady Lorette. The team was able to break in. There were some complications, most notably around a possible artifact to a dead god. But in all other ways, it seemed to go relatively smoothly. So I'm going to give you guys your awards for that now. We already did XP. So we'll start with the payoff, which is 6 coin. And the thing we haven't talked about yet is how you divvy out coin between your team and your crew. You can either put coin into the crew, or you can give it to your team members. So you guys have 6 coin to distribute how you want to, either into your crew or into your personal stashes. Above a certain amount of... the one thing we haven't talked about with coin yet at all with personal money is, and I'm bringing up the crew sheet right now, is the more coin you have, the better your lifestyle is. And all of your coin over 4 is not available in terms of actual spending money, and you have to spend actions to like sell stuff in order to get that money back. But
liquidate it.
You gotta liquidate those assets, right? So in your personal stash, I think is what it's called. Where are we at? Here we go, yeah. So you can have available on you at any given time as a player 4 coin. The rest needs to go into your stash. When you fill up a stash bar, you are at that level of lifestyle. But that stash assumes you are building a separate private life for yourself that also builds your retirement for when your character either gets to 4 traumas? When they get to 4 traumas, because once you get your 4th trauma, you retire. Right. Or when you just choose to retire the character, you're like, I've made enough money, I've lived my life of crime and served my purpose, and now I'm going to live out the rest of my life in wealth and happiness, right? Which is kind of one of the big goals of the game, is to figure out how to, not just to be a power broker, but also how to secure yourself through that power brokering for retirement. So you guys, as a team, have 6 coin to spread amongst you between your crew, which will do things like pay off debts to people, to other gangs. It'll allow you to invest in improvements to the gang, stuff like that, right? And your own coin, which allows you to buy stuff for yourself, more kit and gear, and will allow you to improve your lifestyle.
So there were 5 of us involved in the last one, right? There was
4. Yeah, there was only 4.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I propose everyone who participated gets a coin, and the other 2 coin goes to the crew. Because the crew is broke. We have 0 coin. We're just living above that soup kitchen, scrounging for scraps. So everybody who was there get a coin, and then 1 goes to the crew? Seem reasonable?
I like it.
That's fine with me. However you guys want to divvy it, because I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, I don't...
None of us really
do. So, yeah. It's like, what do I hit? What button do I press?
So that's one more
So-
coin into your crew, or two more coin into crew.
2 coin into crew.
Quick question: Do we
Okay.
have anything in rep?
Rep is rep is next, and you do have some rep right now.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of the game.
Yep. You've also earned 1 turf, so I will click off that turf. If you are on the crew sheet, you will want to see. Oh, did somebody already put the 2 coin in there for the crew sheet?
Someone did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was it?
No,
Weren't
it started
me.
that way. Yeah. No, you guys
it's
already
half
had
as
2 coin.
Yeah, we already had 2, so now we'll have
Yeah,
4
so
total there.
now you get 2 more. Boink.
Gotcha.
Boink. Yep. Sweet. All right. So in terms of rep, you start with a base of 2, and then you get 1 per higher tier. You were tier 0. This person was tier. Excuse me. This person was tier 3. So you guys get 5 rep for this.
We are dripping in
So-
rep.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
Um,
right?
Should we assign
I marked that on
someone?
my character.
So there, remember, there is a crew sheet, and that's where we're
Right.
keeping track of
Yeah.
all crew bookkeeping.
Since Tav's not here, do we have someone who wants to take care of the crew sheet for today, or?
Was that you volunteering?
Oh, is that what I just did?
Sounded like it to me.
I think you might be volunteering.
That's so mean.
Committed. Okay, let me just make sure that I'm doing this right.
That's so mean.
On the crew sheet.
She's organized.
We have 4 now, so we have an
That's true.
additional 4. Or are we supposed to be at 4 total?
No, you
We-
had
we
4 from
started
last sheet.
with 4,
Yeah, you got 2 from your first score, 2 from your second score, because they were starter scores, or 2 from your first. Yeah, 2 from your first score because it was kind of a starter score, and then 4 from this score because it was a big boy score. Cool.
Heck yes.
So
All right,
you only
we're
need
good.
3 more rep in order to increase your holding to a tier 1 week. Now, what tier does is it defines how, essentially, the baseline how good your crap is, and the baseline of how well respected you are, right? So right now, you guys are not a player. You need to be, and you guys want to become a player. So once you get up 3 more rep and can pay the coin to increase your tier, which is 8. You need 8 coin to increase your tier. You will get up to tier 1. Now there's a complication in my game when you hit tier 1. If you guys remember that Facebook I gave you, right?
Yeah.
Once a gang hits tier 1, they are expected to present themselves and become a member of the Concord.
Oh, yeah.
And they want 10% of your earnings, right?
Yes.
No, we don't want to give up our money. It's our money. We should be able
But
to
that
keep
can
it.
be in trade or coin. But that's that. So for heat, 2 heat for this. You guys are relatively... I'm actually going to tack a 3rd heat on there because of Lady Laurette and Songbird's continuing connection, or her at least continuing romantic connection to him. And
I do what I must.
and that's that, and then nobody's incarcerated, and so we don't need to worry about that. All right, so I would like someone, and you guys can choose who, to roll 1d6 for me, because the last thing we do during downtime, before we go into your activities and the heavier role-playing section, is we figure out your entanglements. We got a 5. All right. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so
Is that good or bad?
having had a little bit of extra downtime, Cordelia.
Hold on. Before you do that, don't
Yeah.
I get downtime?
We're not doing downtime actions yet. We're doing an entanglement. So the way that the post score works is you do your payoff, which is rep and coin, and you figure out how much heat you took,
Okay.
and then you figure out what in the world's going on in the world around you and how to interact with it, right? And then we go into your downtime actions. Yeah. So
No, that's fine. Okay.
Cordelia,
Yeah.
do you remember Lucian? Who likes to watch?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
He, as you're still kind of having to keep a day job to keep your life going and keep some coin in your pocket, he's been enjoying watching a little bit too much for you. He, instead of just hanging out in the back, he's starting to interfere in some ways with your... For those of you who don't know, Cordelia is a hooker / madam, and...
Courtesan.
Courtesan. High-class courtesan, who also can interact with the ghost field, which is the echo of everything that used to be in Duskwall, and the ghosts who hang out in the ghost field, one of whom is Lucian, who has attracted themselves to Cordelia, and had made a bargain with Cordelia to help her out in a previous score. In return, he wanted to watch. Yeah. And so today, as you are finishing up, Lucian attempts to possess you in order to go a little bit too far in the rough play in order to eat the life essence of your current bedroom compatriot. So when we do possession, hang on, let me get to it. I think I called it weird. Oh, strange. There we go.
Session just went places, guys.
Hey, man. Starting off with a bang.
We literally.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Don't make me choke on my...
You could not have set
coffee.
yourself up more perfectly for that one.
Someone explain it to Castleneck.
So you he has no idea what's happening. So you are familiar with Lucian's presence, it being around you most of the time, but now you feel it starting to penetrate your flesh body.
Freezing. Are we just ignoring freezing now?
Yes. All of this is on purpose, by the way. Like, none of this is
For
not.
real, though. Of
Sorry.
course.
Please
You can't
continue.
do it any other way.
Sorry.
You start feeling his presence taking over your mind, and you start feeling this hunger to allow Lucian to drink the life essence of this John that you're currently with.
Yeah. All right, I guess if I'm aware of it, I'm gonna stop whatever I'm doing immediately to try and prevent this from happening, because Cordelia's not like the nicest girl, but she doesn't kill people unless she has to.
Okay. So you are attempting to ward off the possession then. You're not going to just go with it and let it happen.
I mean, how good is this interaction going to be? How much am I going to make?
So you would pick a skill. I think there's a pretty obvious one, right? It's your magic-y skill. But you can try and choose another one too. And you're going to need to make a roll to ward off possession.
I am going to use a tune, and I kind of just want to get through this without making it weirder than it has to be. You know,
Yeah.
It's too late for that. So yeah, a tune.
Yeah, and remember, you can take a devil's bargain for an extra die, or you can take 2 stress for an extra die.
To do the regular roll route, just for now, see how that goes.
Okay. There's no
Is
turning
it
back.
gonna be? Well, control, desperate, fortune, risky.
So it's going to be desperate
Okay.
and standard effect.
Did you just? Okay.
What? Did I just what?
I think I
Nice.
just heard you.
I said
Ooh.
desperate and standard effect. Yeah. So that's good. You rolled a 5 and a 4, which is a success with complications. So how do you speak to Lucian in your brain? Like, what is you engage him essentially in psychic combat, right? He's come into your mind. What is it you're feeling? What is it you're thinking? What is it you're saying to this ghost as you're trying to push him out?
I'm gonna say, look, we had a deal. The deal was you could watch. You're getting a little too close. You're starting to encroach on our bargain here, and if you don't get out right now, we're gonna leave entirely, which is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me.
Okay, and with that, and you put some like psychic force behind it as you're talking to him, right? And so there's this almost empowerment to the way that you're connected to him, and you feel him forced out of you. But as you do, you feel him fall into an intense rage and shit around the room, and the dude who you're with now realizes what's going on as the ghost starts throwing shit around the room, and the John gets up and goes, oh my god, what's going on? And like this vase goes flying across the wall. You also take one. I need to look at a harm for you because this is the first time we'll be engaging in harm. Downtime, strength, tables, actions, rumor, city. I put all these tabs on here. You think I would? There we go. Oh, I was literally already on the page.
You're organized too.
You will take one level of harm, and it's drained. It is a lesser harm, so you will write in the one. So if you look on your character mode of your sheet, right below stress, you'll see harm, and there'll be like 1, 2, 3, right? So in the first box to the left, in the one line, put drained.
Drained.
Yep.
Spin.
Yeah, as you're, whoosh, but now you've got this John freaking out, and like the glass cracks in the armoire on the other side of the room, and he even hears this scream for a moment as Lucien manifests himself, and he's almost like a 65-year-old man with this giant old beard, and when he talks here, he talks more like this out in the world, and he goes, "You bitch, you promised me, why? Why did you lie? Georgette has herpes! She's got the herp!"
So no.
And then he disappears.
Please.
Keep my voice, please. For the love of God, please.
And the John goes, "Oh my god, I'm never coming back here again. I want my money back."
Oh no, you've already got his money. Good.
Forgot his money.
Yeah. No refund, sweetheart. Go away.
You know what you signed up for being in this side of town. Just go before it gets worse.
He starts to even in his nakedness, he drops the blanket, stands up and goes, "No, I you made me sick. You're poxed. I deserve my money back."
Can I make another roll?
You may. What are you attempting to do?
I would like to sway him. Kind of convince him that, like, hey, you don't know if you have the herp right away. You don't know. So
Okay.
I would just like to, it's like, sir, I
Absolutely.
want to assure you I'm perfectly safe. I understand that you're upset. This is just a thing that happens in the world here. It's just this side of town is really active. I apologize if you were frightened. You're gonna be fine.
That was terrifying.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Make your sway roll.
Is
So
it
this will
control?
be. I'm gonna give it. Team, what do you think? Is this standard or is this risky or desperate?
I think it's desperate.
I think it might be risky because of all the crap that just happened. Like all the stuff flying everywhere. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's desperate unless he actually saw the ghost.
He is pretty upset, so there's a risk of him just like.
Yeah.
I
that's
think
just me.
it's
So
I
I
think
feel
it's
like it would be
desperate
risky.
too. I mean,
Okay.
Oh.
Majority rules.
Yeah. I would also, and the reason
Yeah.
I would go with the desperate is because it was immediately post-coital, and a ghost appeared out
Yeah,
of
that's
nowhere
true.
and started throwing stuff, and yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That's fine.
so we're gonna go desperate, but standard effect. But here's the good thing: in your character sheet, under both of those, you'll get 2 XP in resolve. So you see those little like hash marks on the black resolve line?
Oh yeah.
Fill 2 of those in because you've just made 2 desperate resolve rolls. So this will be desperate, but standard effect because you're a pretty girl and you're also naked. And so I'm going to say it would have been limited in another situation in which you were both not having just been intimate, but I'm increasing the effect by 1 due to the fact that you guys did just share transactional intimacy.
It was a transaction.
Exactly.
All right. Rolling. Oh shit.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh.
Oh god.
uh-oh.
Oh my god.
No!
Oh god.
I was promised fair treatment here, and this is not fair treatment! This is insane! I'm talking to your madam! And he starts putting on his pants. and he puts on his upper tunic, and he gets his ruffles all set, and puts on his buff jacket, and he puts on his boots. You can interact at any point as well as I'm describing this. You can just be like, "Stop! I want to do something."
Okay.
And then,
I want to. Yeah, sir. You don't have to go to my madam. What if we just gave you a freebs and we just forget this ever happened? I'm sorry. Things get a little exciting around here sometimes, and I just didn't realize that I was getting a little energetic. If I could make it up to you with just a free session sometime, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. I'm going to give you a devil's bargain. You can take it or leave it. Because you're clearly going to have to make a roll here, and it can't be sway.
Yeah.
Because you've already swayed in this. You will get an extra die if... Nope, that's too mean. If...
That's too mean.
This person gets a freeb once a week.
Once a week?
For the next 2 months.
Oh.
2 months?
Ooh.
Wow.
That's like 8 freebs.
Yeah. That's all they call it, devil's bargain, honey.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen if he tells my madam?
Get fired. Get your money taken away, what
You
little
don't
you
have a job
have.
anymore?
Don't have a
Shit.
job anymore.
Who's
Fine.
your madam? Just curious.
Fine.
I don't know,
who's
we
your
haven't
madam?
defined who she is. Who
Who
is your madam?
Is it Madam Teslin?
Oh yeah, Thanderin might know.
It would ultimately, I mean, we'd have to just inform some other people, but yes.
Okay. I don't know how the rules work on like inserting yourself into somebody else's thing.
What is it you would want to do?
Well, part of what I wanted my downtime to be was to go, blow off some steam.
Yes.
And so maybe I was there and heard all the racket and knew that was her room. But if that complicates things too much, I don't want to.
Make a 2-die fortune roll.
Yeah, because we also have Shade, who has worked with me before as a guard.
Yeah. Make me...
Ooh,
yeah,
gosh.
you got a success off of it. So I wanted to leave it up to chance whether or not you were actually there. Right, that's why I asked you to make the fortune roll.
Understood, yeah.
You rolled a 5 and a 1. So the 5 is we'll call it, in this case, I was going to say you had a 1 in 3 chance of being there, right? So a 5 and a 6 would have been you're there. And you got one. And given your penchant also for the transactional, recreational, bouncy time, I figured 2 dice would be the right amount of dice to figure out if that happened. So, you do hear this. You are across the room with someone of your choice. You can tell us or not who this person is and what they look like. As you start hearing your dear friend Cordelia yelling at someone, and that man yelling back as things get smashed around the room.
Yeah, I'm meant to be like, just a moment. Just,
Let me
I'll make it worth the
dismount,
while.
please.
Just stay
No.
there.
Literally, not even
back.
put clothes on. I'm just gonna be naked and I'm gonna bust in the room and say, "What the fuck
Oh my god!
is going on here?"
Vijan turns around and is like startled to see you in his half-dressed form. He's got like his pants and his boots on, and that's it. And he goes, "What is going on here?
I asked you first.
Who are you, and why would you break into this room, sir?
What is going on here?"
It is none of
I
your
look at
business."
Cordelia. I look at Cordelia. What's going on here?
There was a little bit of a ruckus. I tried to strike a deal with this gentleman. He's a little upset that some stuff crashed. I don't know what happened. Maybe in the heat of the moment, he flung something. I don't know.
Cordelia, roll me an extra. Roll me 1d6. Roll me a fortune die real quick. Okay. And the reason I did that is because you took the devil's bargain, right?
Yep.
And so you would have gotten 2 dice instead of 1. And so I would have just adjusted the fiction from this point forward as if you had succeeded, but you double failed, so it's fine. And there's no such thing as a double fail, you just failed. So we are where we are. The ghost told me she had the pox, and there were things flying around the room, and...
Wait. Whoa. A ghost.
This is completely unheard of!
Sir. A ghost.
Yes, a ghost.
Are you high?
Look at the damage in this room. Do you think I did this? Do you think she did this? There was a ghost in here.
Well, I don't know. No one will tell me.
I'm telling you there was a ghost in here.
Did she? Are you done?
Are you?
Did you? Is your business concluded here?
What is your business in this room, sir?
I'm asking the questions.
But you walk into my room with my contracted console, and you deign, sir, to tell me the rules?
I'm gonna slap him in the face.
Shit. All right.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Escalated quickly.
What would you like to roll for that slap in the face?
Skirmish.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. He's not expecting it, so I'm gonna say you also being naked is kind of shocking to him, I would say. So I'm actually gonna say you're in a controlled position right now. There's 2 of you in the room. He's super freaked out by the ghost. Yeah, you're controlled, and it's gonna be a standard effect. And what are you attempting to do? Are you attempting to actually hurt him, or are you just trying to shut him down?
No, I just want to snap him to shut up.
Okay.
And,
make a roll.
Yeah, just take control of the situation utterly.
Yep.
Help a girl out.
Nice.
Oh, dang.
You... tell me how you slap him. Tell me what you do. I don't want to narrate your you for you.
I don't even... it's nothing special. I literally just walk up to him and just... right across the face. Just full open-handed on the cheek.
He spins around for a moment, not expecting it from the bulky naked man in front of him, and he just wheels back and sits down on the bed and just kind of stares. What is happening today? I just wanted to enjoy myself.
Did you enjoy yourself?
No, there was a ghost!
Before the ghost, whatever.
Well, yeah, she's quite talented.
Did you finish?
Yes.
So your transaction is concluded, and now you are in her room beyond your scheduled time.
No, I have her for another... He looks at his watch.
But
5 minutes.
I think you're done.
Okay. And he puts on his shirt. He gets his ruffles back on. It's the 3 little layered ruffle thing. It's light blue on a white shirt, and he puts on his white jacket with blue buff, and he.
That is a lot of clothing, sir.
Looking dejected. He's obviously a noble. He gets up looking all dejected, and he walks out of the room, high boots clomping sadly down the wooden floor, down the stairs, and out of your lives.
Cordelia's getting dressed, and she huffily says to Taps, "I can fight my own battles, thank you." And she's gonna pack her shit and leave.
Entanglement complete. Nicely done, guys. That was awesome.
That was an adventure. It was a wild ride from start to finish.
Okay, so now we go into downtime itself. And I'd asked each of you to pick for me your 2 downtime actions so we could go through them pretty quickly before we get into the score and all that sort of good stuff. Anybody want to kind of pop up and go first with downtime?
I'll go.
I would, but I only have 1.
I'll go.
Well, if you only have the one, you can figure out another one. That's okay.
Yeah,
if you think of another one at the moment, you can.
Yeah,
cool.
So we'll start with Thin because he popped up first.
Okay.
and then we can go to.
Well, we've already kind of discussed
Okay.
my first one,
Yes.
which was indulging my vice.
Yes.
So what do I do with that? What do I?
You are going
something
to. How much stress do you have right now?
I have 2 stress right now.
Okay. So in order to. What, Shogun with another 500? Thank you, brother.
Oh,
All right.
Ooh.
Heyo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Heck
That's
yeah.
insane. Generosity. We love the bits here.
God.
Who is that going to, by the way?
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Shogun, you just let us know who that's going to go to in terms of advantage. But okay, so for the vice roll, you will roll dice equal to your lowest attribute.
I have a question. How do you know what your vice is?
We chose it during character creation.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
So what does that mean by
Oh,
lowest?
okay.
Your attribute rating is either
So
your
like
insight, your
prowess, resolve. Whichever one has the total lowest number of dots in that left column.
Oh, in the left column, 2
Yeah.
of mine have only 1 in the left
Okay,
column.
so you will roll 1 die, and you will reduce your stress by the number of dice rolled, or the number rolled.
Okay,
If
so
you-
I just roll.
Yes,
like
if you
1d6.
roll over the amount of stress you have, you overindulge,
Ooh.
and
I
you
see.
take some. In your case, you won't take any stress, so it's fine for you. If you cannot indulge your vice, no, hang on, an overindulgence. Oh yeah, something could happen
if
if
you have a vice. So what happens if you don't have any stress but you still want to indulge in a vice?
You can just do it and roll to see what happens. Dude,
Okay.
Mr. Rainmaker. Yeah, I mean, you can always indulge in your vice if you want,
Hey.
but because it's a
Oh my
vice,
god, bro.
trouble can come from it.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll.
Okay,
Do I just click indulge vice, or
You do. You click indulge vice.
and then no bonus dice? So
Nope.
submit.
All right. So
Nice.
you have overindulged.
Yeah, I got very excitable after
I
that
thought that
whole
was good.
thing, and was too vigorous.
All right. So you can either attract trouble, select a roll for an additional entanglement during downtime, brag, take 2 heat, which actually seems appropriate after what just happened. Lost. You vanish for a few weeks and will need to play a different character as you go on a bender, essentially.
Oh
or
yeah, no,
tapped,
no.
and your current purveyor cuts you off.
Ooh, no. What was the first one
Ooh,
again?
yeah, no.
It was attract trouble, which means we can roll additional entanglement. And the second one was brag, which kind of makes some sense. I mean, I'm not going to choose for you, but there is a...
I don't know if I would brag. I feel like I
Okay.
just slapped a noble open-handed on the face.
Yes,
I feel like that might attract trouble.
that would attract trouble, which
I
would be
feel
the
like
heat
that's-
one. Yeah. Oh, no, that could actually be attract trouble entanglement as well. You're right.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm gonna leave and his hoodlums are gonna be. I feel like I really pissed somebody off there.
You did. It's entirely possible. All
But
right.
I think that's the one.
All right. So what I want you to do is roll a d6 for me.
1d6.
2. As you exit the brothel, a few hours later, I would imagine, as you were still engaged in your your
I
quittal.
was.
Okay, yeah. A few hours later, after you've refreshed yourself, one might say, and you are finished, you're cleaned up, you've enjoyed a drink, you step outside, and waiting out there with 3 of his friends, wearing a dueling rapier, is
Jesus.
the noble.
Oh my
And
god.
he says his name is Adric Slane. And
Adric.
I, sir. Yeah, Adric, A-D-R-I-C.
Okay.
Slane, S-L-A-N-E. He stands there and goes, "I've been waiting for you, sir.
Been waiting
I-
a while.
Challenge you to a duel in this street, this evening,
Jesus.
for the insult upon my honor in front of the fair courtesan, that you perpetrated upon me, I will have... I forgot the word. What is it, sir? What do you mean?
Vengeance?
Oh, yes! Satisfaction!
Wow, that's a very easy word to remember. I'll give you satisfaction.
Choose your second.
But you don't need a second.
It is not done without a second. You will choose a second.
What if I choose you?
I can't be your second. I'm the one who gave you the duel.
I look at like somebody that's just like walking by. I'm like, you sir, come here. Come here.
Yeah, yes? Hello?
This silly man is challenging me to a duel.
Sorry?
I need a second, and I don't have a second.
I don't know you. I don't
know you either.
So why would it be your second? If you run away, that means I have to fight him. That's ridiculous.
I'm not going to run away. He's going to either die or run away a coward.
How do I know you're not going to run away? How do I know you're not setting me up for death?
Why would I? I don't know you. Why would I set you up?
That's exactly why. Are you going to try to confuse? You're going to try and convince him somehow?
He can just go. We don't need seconds. This is between you and me.
He looks at his buddies. Fine. What are your terms? First blood, unconsciousness, death. Mr. Rainmaker, thank you. Who do you want to give the bonus to?
Oh my goodness. Jeez.
Wow, we're loving it. I love the love we're getting tonight, guys. This is amazing.
A lot of love.
Who do you want to give Who do you want to give a bonus to? Let us know in chat as we continue.
Yeah.
So,
for your sake, we'll say first.
Excellent. He pulls out his rapier. Shall we begin?
Sure.
And Fan, you're the one who got the bonus off of that 500.
Yeah, I got the Okay. Oh, so I have two now?
I have one. You have two. Yes.
Okay. Can I give the other
one?
Can I give the other one to someone else? Can I give it to? I want to give it to Kim because I interfered in her thing.
Done.
So I want to give it to her. I choose to give her the other one.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
All right. I don't know.
Sorry, what was that thing that you gave me?
Oh, I got a second bonus from someone giving bits, and so I decided to give you my new bonus one.
Thanks.
What? Lydia, Bobidia, more bits. What's going on today, guys? We love you so hard. Oh my god. Okay. Yes, that will absolutely go to Castle Max Steven for a either bonus die or an increase effect of his choice.
Cool.
Rapier is pulled out.
That's awesome.
Same. I have daggers. I'm pulling my daggers.
Nice. All right. So
I just kind of twirled them.
Tell me what happens here.
I literally just stand my ground with making eye contact with him and just playing with my daggers, watching him.
I can't make the roll. So you have to kind of narrate how you want the combat to go.
Okay, well then how I want the combat to go is I literally like so fast. Let me see. I'm gonna go with. Oh, can I assume that I already lost my stress?
Yes, your stress is gone. All of your stress is removed, and this is your entanglement from.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna use skirmish, and I'm going to literally wait for him to make his first move, and I'm just going to slink out of the way and then just slide a dagger on his arm. Just literally just that fast. Just, boom.
All right. This is.
And
go ahead.
I want to push myself.
Nice.
To use not to be trifled with.
Okay.
To perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman.
Okay.
So that I can help Gary with this. Just so fast that if you blink, you miss it. But I mean, it's done before he's still trying to thrust his rapier, and I'm already around and sliced his arm.
Okay.
And then I'm
Sweet.
holding the dagger in front of him with the blood on it.
So you're just gonna move super fast, like
So
hyper fast.
insanely,
Yep.
like ridiculously fast.
And that gives you an extra die.
The Flash.
Is that right?
Alrighty. So,
Is that what that does? It gives you an extra die.
I believe so. It just says you can push yourself, so I'm giving myself.
Oh yeah, you give yourself the extra die without taking the stress. That is what that does.
Okay, so
Yep.
I roll skirmish. What's the position on this one?
Position is risky
Risky,
because
and
he's
then
got a rapier and he's good at it. But effect.
I want to.
Go
What's
ahead.
your effect? What's the effect?
Effect
you're
is
giving?
currently standard.
Okay, and limited is better than standard, or
No, great.
great.
Is better than.
I'm
yeah.
going to go. I'm going to use my bonus to increase that to great.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Roll it up.
And a bonus die. One bonus die.
Yeah. So you're gonna get. What's your skirmish? Oh well, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
It was 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes at you, and he's very well trained. At first, he feints to the right, and you see it coming. And as he starts moving to the left, you realize he shifted his weight off balance just a hair, and you're able to push around, wrap your leg around his leg in order to move him even further off balance, to slash your dagger lightly across his arm, and flick it up in front of him.
And then I'll say, I said good day, sir.
Scene. Okay.
Good day.
That was awesome. As he walks away in a huff, you have gained an enemy, but I have to make a note of his name. It was what, Adric
Adric
Slain?
Slain.
Adric Slain.
Oh, I need to put that on my thing.
Yeah, Adric.
I was gonna say, you might want to
Slain,
put that on your character sheet.
enemy
or write it down.
of Taps. Brothel incident with Cordelia and Ghost.
Brothel
Okay.
asshole. Adric
Yeah.
Slain.
Okay, who's got a downtime action for me?
My enemy.
Me.
What you got?
So I want to indulge my vice, which is, it says obligation to refugees of Scotland, but what I wanted to do is try and see if I can find people who might be from Scotland in Dustfall, and see if I can kind of rally them to start rebelling against the government to try and take back our country.
So,
Or something like that. I don't know. That might be a little too involved, but
that's right, your vice is an obligation.
yeah.
Okay, so interesting. So yes, there absolutely is a rebel element within Duskfall of Scovelanders who are looking to. There's refugees and rebels. Most of them aren't convinced they can overthrow the government yet, though. Most of them feel like they're under the boot, and the best thing they can do is kind of organize labor and maybe overthrow a local government here or there and get Scovelanders into the government. They seem to be much more focused on how to over-assimilate themselves, given the assassination of their king and queen 2 years ago. So it will take you time to create a movement that would lead to a rebellion.
That's
and
what I
so
figured.
I'm interested in what is the first step for you along that path?
So I just want to find, my first step probably be just to find refugees, because since I'm not from here, I don't really know many people. So I kind of want to see go around and see if I can find people who might be from my land.
For sure.
And just find people first.
All right, so you essentially want to gather information, right? And so we're going to start a new clock, which is information on Scovelander refugees. And that's not what I need. And this will represent your investigations into the C, Control V, thank you. Control C, Control V, thank you. So this will be investigations into Scovelander rebellion, or rebels, essentially. And we'll get in there. All right, we'll figure that out later. And what this will do is once you have filled this clock, you will have enough knowledge to start creating an organization.
Okay.
Right, which will be the next step. The first is figuring out who is interested in this idea, who is there, who's willing to do it. And I'm gonna, because this is pretty dangerous and difficult, I'm gonna make it a 6-piece clock. So it's gonna take some time. But a crit, a success of a 4 or 5 will fill 1 piece, a 6 will fill 2 pieces, and a crit will fill 3 pieces. Cool. And you're going to want to gather information for this. So I'm interested, like...
What am I rolling?
I'm about to tell you. But before that even, I want to know, how do you approach people? What is your pitch? How do you, like, talk to Scovelander refugees about this stuff?
So... I was trying to think of this, too, before we started. I think she would kind of, like, come up and you know, kind of start, like, ask... Not really... How do I put this? Like, trying to figure out, like, which side they're on. Like, if they prefer the government, or, like, if they're like, no, like, F the government, I want, you know, I'm from Scoville, I want my country back. You know, she kind of probably would start off that way, just to see, like, what side they're on. That way she would know, like, if she needed to go further, like, ask more questions, or if she would need to... You know, just basically stop the conversation there and move on.
Okay.
So...
The major neighborhoods where this stuff happens is going to be the Forge and the Leviathan Factory. Most Scovelander refugees... I'm sorry, not the Forge. This doesn't actually have the... Hang on a sec. The actual neighborhood names on it. It's... I got them right here, though, so it's cool.
Yeah.
That's why I did this. All right. So Barrow Cleft, which is this... let me get that out the way. And I'm actually gonna... I can't actually transfer to the map right now. At some point, I'll figure out how to easily transition between the two. Barrow Cleft is this area here. And then... Char Hollow, which is this area here. And then the other area that has a lot is the big industrial area, which is Coleridge? No. Yeah, Silk Shore. So up here. Boink. In these areas, there are a number of Scovelander refugees. Those who had money ended up here, and the rest ended up in the other 2 pieces.
Okay.
Yep.
So where are we located at?
Well, your lair is over in 6 Towers, which is here.
Yeah, because I don't know. It would take her a long time to get over there, right?
I mean, it's not that big of a city. Population's between 80 and 90,000, and it's a series. Imagine if Venice... Imagine it being like Venice in terms of canals and all that sorts of stuff everywhere, and then with like that London sort of industrial grossness overlaid over it.
Right. Okay.
And so you can you can get there in plenty of downtime time. So we don't really need to worry about the travel for that.
Yeah, I think that's... I kind of think that's what she would do, is just try to figure out, like, try and get information on where they might be hiding or where they might be at, and then kind of go from there. So...
Okay. So what I would say to that then is, do you want to first try and figure out high class or low class?
Low class, because she figures that the low class would be more apt to, like, be like, yeah, let's start a rebellion.
All right.
So...
Then the second question I have...
Because, like, they don't really have anything yet.
Is what skill would you like to try to use in order to gather that information?
So I have 1 in command.
Okay, that's a pretty aggressive sort of information gathering.
Yeah, I don't have anything in consort though, that's the problem. Or sway.
You can always take a stress to get 1 die, which is a 50-50 chance of success. And you can always
roll 2 dice, take the lowest.
Or, yes, which is the other thing you can do, is roll 2 dice and take the lowest. Even if you don't have a die.
Okay, I'll roll the 2 dice and take the lowest.
Okay. Stress is there for you, right? And you're technically engaging in your vice right now. So once we're done with this, you'll roll to reduce stress anyways.
Oh, okay. So then maybe I'll add stress.
Okay. I just want to
add extra die.
So this will actually just give you 1 die. And I'm going to make this risky limited. Because you're just starting your investigation. Was it consort or sway, I think you said?
Yeah, I'll do sway.
Okay. Yeah, sway I think makes a lot of sense for this. And it'll be risky.
And I add 1 die to that?
It'll just risky? Be 1 die. Yeah, and it's risky and limited.
Risky. Okay. I don't know. It's being very, very slow right now.
That's okay.
Oh, I think my roll 20 just froze. Yay!
Oh no! You can also just do a /roll 1d6.
Yeah, no, my entire roll 20 just froze, so...
You want me to roll it for you? While you're reloading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I have to, yeah.
I am so sorry if I hurt you. But technology is a bastard. You rolled a 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Okay.
It's a 1 in 6 chance of being my fault. But
well, I had the extra die, didn't I?
You only get you start at 0 dice, and from the stress you get 1 die.
Okay.
Yeah. You start at 2 die, but take the lower is essentially what happens, right? Which is really bad. Okay. And then you upgrade to 1 die, take it. Yeah. You don't make a lot of progress. People seem to be really tight-lipped. I will give you this. There are rumblings out there that organizing is happening, but you're just not able to put your finger on the pulse of it yet.
Okay.
Okay. Next downtime action.
Well, okay, you can go ahead, because I don't know what my second one's going to be yet, so...
So I'm going to indulge my vice as well, and that is pleasure. Does anyone else have a vice to indulge that is similar? We can maybe work together, go together.
What was your vice again? I'm sorry.
And pleasure.
Mine's pleasure.
Did you already indulge yours?
Body, I did.
Yeah,
I never did my second.
Oh no.
Mine, right. I don't know if I'd want to co-op that one.
I have
for me.
Songbird is an equal opportunity pleasure seeker.
Oh yeah.
Stupor and pleasure are relatively connected.
Oh yeah.
I had a feeling they might be.
So if you two, yeah.
Okay, so if you're into luxury, then I think Songbird might one day, not corner you, but confront you at the hideout, especially once we've got some additional coin, and make you a proposal. He would say, Cordelia, have you ever been to the Silver Swan pleasure barge, darling? I think you'd fit right in.
I've worked there a time or two.
Of course you have. I should have known. Well, as it so happens, I was intending to pay it a visit this night. You're welcome to join me if you'd like.
You mean as a guest?
As a friend, darling.
Oh, well, I would be honored to join you. Thank you.
Very well then. At dusk, perhaps.
Sounds perfect.
Then at dusk, Sebastian would put on his finest and head to the Silver Swan pleasure barge, which is located in Brightstone and is a fairly upper-class place to be. And Eldrin Pritchard is the owner of this barge.
Indeed, Eldrin Pritchard is the owner of this barge, sitting on the northern edge, just above the night market of Brightstone. Bobbing gently in the water, you see 2 large stacks rising up from the center of a broad open boat. It has, if you imagine like a Civil War era paddle boat without the paddles, it's that sort of gambling establishment, right? It's painted entirely white. It's got arcane lights hanging off of in multiple different colors, hanging off of each of the 4 upper deck levels of it, each one packed with revelers and people. You hear music playing on the inside, and 2 large bouncers stand out front.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, gentlemen. I hope your evening's going well. The lady and I would, of course, prefer entrance to the barge.
Right. Where you from?
Oh, darling, you know me, remember? Songbird?
Right. Would he remember you?
This is his preferred location of vice.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, right, sir. Please. And your missus, please. Enjoy the evening, sir.
Very well. And I think he would sort of theatrically stick an elbow out for Cordelia. Shall we, love?
Yeah, let's go. I will take his elbow. I'm feeling fancy AF because I'm not like working this time.
As you walk up the gangplank onto the main deck of the pleasure barge, you are confronted with revelers. This is a place of debauch. It is gambling inside each of the 3 layers. There are different sorts of gambling and games of chance going on. At the fore and aft on the main level, there are these large open-air bars with big circular tables that lots of different people sit at. More of the carnal pleasures happen below decks, but there's also, both of you having been around a number of different types of illicit substances, you see them in use regularly and by many people here. And what you also notice is there's a large number of nobles and even some blue jacket command level officer folk enjoying without questioning some of the illegal activities going on here.
Feels like home. The Silver Swan. Shall we get a drink, dear?
Oh, yes, please.
I think Sebastian drinks but never to excess, does not participate in any controlled substances, likes to keep his wits about him, just wants to manipulate people, but is mostly into the social pleasures, both of the flesh and of just a good time. He wants to be the center of attention and you know, have the ear of people who are important. Those are the things that make him feel at ease.
Yep. Cool. What about you, Cordelia? Cordelia?
I'm sorry.
Hello.
I have like 100 things happening right now. Would you mind repeating that for me? I'm sorry.
Songbird was just describing how he likes to indulge in the social pleasures of this place without overindulging. I was interested in how you like indulging.
Well, this is where Cordelia has been able to access delirium before, and some of the higher paying clients, she hasn't been able to come here a lot because, you know, there's like nicer courtesans around, but she has been here enough to know who she can get it from. So if possible, Cordelia's probably going to find someone or spot someone that she recognizes and see if they have anything on them.
Okay.
That she can indulge in.
How do you want to do that?
Well, as I'm having my drink with Sebastian, I would look around and just kind of recognize someone that I've indulged with before, give them a look, and say, "Excuse me, honey, I'll be just a moment," as I leave Songbird.
Oh, take your time, darling. And I think he would see some, like, quartet or something and go and listen to them. Since pleasure is, like, both entertainment and carnal pleasures and drink. I think he just wants, like, he has severe FOMO on the barge. Wants to be a part of it all. Like, is watching this quartet. Like, oh, drinks over there. Like, I think he just wants to be a part of it all.
Awesome.
He wants to do all the things.
Right.
Yeah, as you go over there, you actually see Eldrin Pritchard standing listening to that quartet as well. But we'll get to that in a second, and we'll start with Cordelia. Cordelia, do you recognize an old friend of yours who is also an imbiber? Her name is Laurette Kincaid. Laurette Kincaid. She's a minor noble who has enjoyed the company of you both socially and monetarily before. And you also know to be an enjoyer who you have also enjoyed delirium with in the past.
All right. I'll walk up to Laurette and I'll give her I'll touch her arm and say, "My dear, how have you been?"
Darling, how are you this evening? It's so good to see you here. You almost never make your way up here.
I know, I've been a little busy. I've been on some new projects. I met some new people. I'm trying to start a new life for myself,
That's great to hear. I'd love to see you out of that work. I mean, I've enjoyed it, but I think you're so much more talented than just using your body.
Well, thank you, darling. Well, I mean, in the spirit of celebration, I was wondering if you were interested in taking a little stroll to maybe just enjoy some delirium. You had any?
It's so forward. I love it. Yes, of course. We can. Let's go down to the other end of the boat. It's much more quiet back there.
Perfect. Okay.
And as you guys walk off, go ahead. Tell me what you're going to say.
Nope. I was just going to say that I was going to see if Songbird was looking after me, but I'm assuming I see him preoccupied.
Yeah, he might cast you a nod, but
Okay.
aside from coming here together, he's done.
All right, cool.
Just throw it to the curb, like, you were just a fraud, it's okay.
He's in his element now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So as you walk to the back,
Talk about worst teammate ever.
you will get to reduce stress equal to a die roll of your lowest attribute. So your attribute rating is the number of dots you have on the far left side of that black line on your lowest one of the three attributes. And so you'll just click Indulge Vice. Boop.
Well, unless I was supposed to take stress for something, and I apologize if I missed it, but
That's okay.
I don't have any at the moment.
Oh, well then you're just enjoying, then you're just indulging.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah, then yeah. Okay.
He's off for that indulgence.
How much do you indulge? Like, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
Well, knowing that I've fulfilled my obligation to Songbird, which was just showing up here
Yes.
as his date,
Yes.
and seeing someone that I'm fond of as a friend and have, done this with before, we're gonna go all the way down the rabbit hole. Like, she's gonna get book wild.
Book wild.
I don't know what the
Nice.
dosage is like for, but
Yeah.
super is my vice.
Yeah.
So I would be pretty.
So it actually makes a lot of sense even when you don't have stress to indulge your vice, I think.
Yeah.
So you, having overindulged, as you do, will either attract trouble, which will be an additional entanglement of some sort, brag about your exploits, giving the party +2 heat, vanish for a few weeks as you go deeply on a bender, or your current purveyor cuts you off after this. And you'll have to find a new supplier. And your current purveyor is Laurette.
Ooh. What was the first couple? One of the options was.
There was the additional entanglement, which is more crazy stuff happening. Or
Right.
you take +2 heat as you're like, dude, I just went on the most amazing bender with this lady. It was awesome. As you brag essentially to either your coworkers or just around town at a meeting hall or an inn or something. or you fall down the rabbit hole and you go on like a multiple week-long bender.
I would say entanglement. I mean, she's not like the really bragging type about it, but she would also probably just do some stuff to get in trouble.
Okay, make me a 1d6 fortune roll. Man, this is so much fun right now with all the stuff you guys are doing. I don't even care if we make it to a score. You guys are just killing it. Okay, actually, you're clean and clear. You're good to go.
I can really hold my delirium.
Yeah, you are fine. It's here. Where is it here? Real quick. Let me make sure. It is downtime, which is here, and then entanglements, which is here. Oh, yeah.
Learning.
It's she, in return, asks a favor of you. My darling, it was so much fun with you last night. The owner of this establishment has some very interesting information about my predilections and your predilections as well when it comes to the use of this exquisite drug. I'm sure he has other information about other people of quality. Would you kindly find that information for me? And be rid of it?
Suppose I could do that for you. Just tell me what I need. What I need to do.
Well, he'll either keep it here or he'll keep it in his house, in his manse. I don't know where, but you know the right sort of people who can find that sort of dirt, I would imagine. I'm just asking you to clear up a little blackmail that may come my or your way.
Okay. This is something I could do.
Yeah, and so you guys now have a new opportunity for a score, which is, what did I say her name was? It was Lizette Kincaid. Lorette Kincaid. Thank you. Lorette Kincaid. Blackmail evidence from, the hell is his name again? Eldrin Pritchard. I gotta write these things down because they just happen in the moment. Pritchard.
I put it on the crew sheet as well.
Sweet. On multiple people of quality. And then, all right, and that's your downtime, or that's your first downtime action. Songbird, you see Eldrin Pritchard standing and listening to the same quartet as you.
All right. He would walk up, arms folded, and be like, Eldrin, beautiful. Was that your choice or someone else's?
Oh, of course they were my choice. They are my favorite quartet in the city.
Should have never questioned your taste. They're positively wonderful.
Thank you. They're hand-picked from the Duskwall Orchestra, specifically for this evening to set the mood.
I see. I quite like that one. What's his name?
Arturo.
You'll have to introduce me.
Oh,
Tell me, Eldrin, what other treats have you got in store tonight?
What would you like, my friend? We have all of the treats here, as you know.
Oh, I know. It's positively dreadful that there's not enough hours in the evening to partake in all of them.
That's why I'm here every day.
Would that it were so simple.
So tell me, my friend, what can I provide you with this evening?
Perhaps something a bit more artistic, a bit more hands-on.
You like Arturo. I can make that happen.
I'm a man of taste.
I respect your taste. I have not yet tasted that specific vintage myself, but I've heard towering things about it.
Well, if you haven't, perhaps we could dine together.
That sounds amazing, my friend. Let's do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Eldrin, I'm never disappointed when I come to the Silver Swan.
Excellent, and I am never disappointed to see you, my friend. And you will be able to, of course, enjoy as much of Arturo as you two both choose. Make me your stress reduction roll, your indulging vice.
All right, so I know I roll a die. I roll my lowest attribute, which is prowess.
Yes.
Do I actually roll the attribute itself or do I just roll a d6?
You can click indulge vice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it'll do it
Oh,
for
I
you.
see. I see.
Yep.
Gotcha. No bonus dice, right?
Nope.
All right. Boom.
How much stress do you have?
Exactly 5.
Nice. So there's no
I had a
additional
lot of stress.
Yeah. You feel incredibly sated and have enjoyed the evening wildly. Excellent. Does anyone else have downtime actions they'd like to pursue?
Yeah, I still have my second downtime action that I never did.
I did too.
I also have
Than
my
Rand can go
second.
first.
Okay.
My second's going to involve
Yeah.
Thanrand. I'll just plant the seed.
Okay.
I am going to train my prowess and try to learn how to fight with a rapier. Realizing how violent their life can be, he wants someone to train him.
Okay, so we're going to have Than, for second downtime actions, we're going to have Than and Sora, Taps and Songbird together. Ayami, what's yours?
So I actually want Cordelia to help me train in sway so that I can start, trying to sway the the refugees into my thing. Also a quick question on that too before you get to him. So since I indulge my vice, can I get rid of my stress? 'Cause that was my vice.
Oh yeah, make a indulge vice roll.
And what do I just click for that?
You just click indulge vice on the character mode below vice purveyor. You'll see a little gray box that says indulge vice.
Okay, and no bonus die?
No bonus die.
Okay. Hopefully it works this time.
How much stress do you have? Oh, you have 1 stress. So you did overindulge.
I have one.
And roll me a fortune die, a 1d6.
Okay. Where's the fortune at?
It is below your strange friends, or your friends. So you've got your resolve, and then your bonus die, and then your friends, and then roll fortune.
Oh.
So you had 1 stress, and went 3 over.
Oh, okay, there it is. Maybe.
Boop.
There's a number of dice. How many dice?
1. Just a 1.
What the heck? I don't know why my roll is being so stupid right now.
Sorry.
Alright, let me try it one more time.
Gotcha.
See if it works. Alright, I may just have to do... Oh, there we go.
Yeah?
Maybe? I hit the
Maybe?
save button, so maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what's
It's
going
just
on with
taking forever
that.
to come up. I don't either.
You want me to just roll it?
I don't know.
Just
My
to...
computer's hating me today. Did I roll it?
No, it did not show up. You want me to just make a quick fortune? Oh, no, there it is. You rolled a 2!
There it
All
is.
right.
Oh my god.
So, as you're questioning folks in kind of the southwest part of town where it's more industrial and more heavy, one of the people who you were talking to about political opinions on Scoveland's current state within the Empire, a little bit later you hear they got arrested. And I'm going to start a new clock that is called Scovelander Rats You Out.
Okay. Can you repeat that again? Because you just broke up really nasty on my end.
Sorry. So what happened was you hear tell of one of the folks who you were talking to about possible Scoveland revolutionaries and people interested in people interested in maybe overthrowing the current government. One of them got arrested. And so we're starting a new clock for you that's called A Scovelander Rats You Out.
Oh, God. I get all the clocks, guys.
Hey, you're doing the most dangerous thing of
I
anyone
am, though.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just slapping lords and stabbing messenger boys. That's all I
You get away
do.
with it, too. You get away with it, though. That's the thing.
All right, it looks like Kimmage has stepped away, so we're going to go to Than and
was just
Taps
eating.
and Songbird. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're eating. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just want y'all to watch.
Okay, so while you're eating, we'll go to Taps and Songbird.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Songbird would seek him out one day. Having purchased a rapier, can I have a weapon, or do I have to spend coin? How do I acquire things? I just want a sword.
Yeah,
A
you
sweet
would
sword
spend
in
one
his
coin
hand.
to buy a sword.
All right, spend all his money after a night of debauchery and buying a sword. I think he would walk up to Taps and he'd be wearing it wrong, probably. You know, like the sword would be like angled wrong. Be like, Taps, darling, I was wondering if you could spare a moment for me and, well, teach me how to use this wretched
yes.
thing.
Yes. Oh, we have some work to do. Well, how about
I'm not
we go out?
claiming to be an expert here, Taps. That's why I'm seeking you out.
Absolutely. You've come to the right man. And
Thought you would say so.
let's go out back. I'll show you a few things. And don't get too excited.
He would
Yeah,
head out.
absolutely. And so, yeah, I'll walk through like footwork. It's all in the feet. It's all about positioning yourself. And show you how to hold it out. And I don't actually know how to fence with a rapier.
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
you're
stuff
doing
up.
good
So,
to
yeah,
me. It sounds like there's...
You point them
Well,
with the sticky, stick 'em with the pointy end.
Oh, that was my first mistake. I was holding it by the blade.
Yeah, you
Foolish,
should.
foolish,
Foolish.
son.
The most foolish. And then I'll show him some footwork and some steps to help,
Yeah.
Reduce your profile and get some power behind that thrust.
Hey. Training montage.
Freaking
Montage.
Rocky trade montage.
But I think he would already. I imagine he's pretty dexterous, so I think it would kind of come naturally. I think he would quite enjoy it. He would kind of figure out how to dance with it a little bit and swing the blade appropriately. So I am attempting to. I do have a point in finesse, but I'm essentially. Well, I know I just put it in prowess, but he's
You will get
essentially
one in
training
prowess,
for
yeah.
skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I loaded with.
And I forget. Do we get anything extra for our gang? No, that's you get
You
two
get a
on
resolve.
Resolve, yeah.
Resolve, yeah.
Which
I
is
thought about
what,
training resolve, but
see, and that's what Taps would be going for. And out of this transaction, learning, I want to learn consort. And so I'm thinking that perhaps while I'm teaching you these things, maybe you teaching me a few things about how to talk to people.
oh yeah, we're having a battle of wits and blades.
And blades, yes.
And we're teaching each other. You're like, watch your footwork there, and I'm like, watch your verb use there.
God, the verbs are my weakness.
No, if you're trying to convince someone, say we, not I, darling. Of course, get them build consensus. It's really quite straightforward. Make it seem like it was their idea all along.
Open-ended questions, never closed-ended.
Right. You should be
Awesome.
the one listening, not talking.
Okay. So Than, you'll get 2 in resolve. Or Taps. I did this on Friday too, and I don't know why. I don't know. Taps, you'll get 2
You
in
just
resolve.
want to say my name. It's okay.
I want to say your name, baby.
Say my name.
Say your name.
and Songbird, you'll get 1 in prowess, and that concludes y'all's downtime. So we've got Cordelia
No,
and
I
Roxy.
still have a downtime.
Well, that's what I was saying. We've got Cordelia and Roxy
Yeah, okay.
as each with a downtime.
So
action.
actually, it's kind of funny because I wanted to go to Cordelia and see if she can help teach me in Sway. since she has sway. And so I wanted to see if she could do that. Or like help me along those lines.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Cordy?
Cordy would be good for that.
Really?
You're muted, love.
Oh yeah, you might be muted.
You're
Yep.
muted. You're muted.
There's a reason I'm muted.
Oh, hi!
What, I want to know what you're
Oh,
eating.
hi.
Pizza.
I bought
Yeah.
a
Oh my
pizza,
God,
and now I'm going to
everybody's
have
got
to cook
pizza.
it
What is
tonight. Yeah,
this?
that's going to have to happen.
It's a
I
supreme
know.
with
I'm
Alfredo sauce.
Tasty.
What?
Mm.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, so,
Okay.
So you would like
I
to
mean,
be trained in the art of sway, huh?
well, I know that I don't, have the, how do I say it, finesse that you do when it comes to that sort of thing, but if I'm going to help my people win back their country, then I definitely need, some skill in that area.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of my sway comes from some of my natural attributes, but there was a little bit of stuff you can pick up. You really gotta make people think that you like them. That helps a lot. And
Murder them.
if you can find a way to distract someone, a little sleight of hand, maybe make yourself look a little bit different than you do normally, give them a reason to not think about what's really going on, that can go a long way towards getting you what you want.
Alright.
So I don't know if Roxy is like a super glamour centric person or
So-
not.
Think biker chick.
Okay, perfect. So Cordelia
Yeah,
would
that's
probably
exactly
like show her how to put on some makeup or do her hair, just little things that can like a little eyeliner can really make people not recognize you right away.
Have y'all seen
Or-
Jumanji? The new
What?
Jumanji. Oh my god, when
Yes.
Jack Black is trying to teach her how to be girly, and oh my god,
Oh,
you have to see it. 'Cause
missed opportunity.
all I'm
for-
seeing. Oh my god, you're so funny. You have to see it. It's so funny.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would do. Is just show her how to make friends and influence people, so to speak.
Nice. All right, so Roxy, you will take 2 XP in Resolve. And so that leaves Cordelia with your final downtime action.
I have to click mute like 5 times. Well, since I already got high today, I don't know what else.
You can train. You can reduce the crew's heat somehow. You can take your second downtime action to recover from the damage you took from the ghost. You can buy a new vehicle or get some more gang members or buy a service of some sort if you want. Like you would need money, but you could try it. Yeah.
Where did our heat go?
Your heat is currently
We have
3,
4.
I think. You're 4? You're 4, okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of heat.
I just didn't see it on the thing.
So
all of a
much
sudden.
heat.
Yeah.
There it is. I would like to. Oh, we have 6. We have a lot of. No, that's rep. I'm sorry. We have 4.
Yeah, we have a lot.
You have 4
I know we
heat.
have a lot.
Cordelia's gonna try and do what she can to get rid of some of that. I don't know if I have to bang someone, I will. It's fine. Whatever we need to do.
Just tell me who you want me to.
Yeah,
Like,
a
I'll
lot
up
of
somebody if I need to get what we need.
Is someone talking about banging someone?
He's like, I can help reduce this heat.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
Yeah,
So let me-
whatever I can do to help.
All right, so let me tell you where the heat's coming from at the moment. Right now,
Never mind.
hey, my loins. Yeah, this is a game of not just blades, but other sorts of pointy things.
Yeah.
Oh
Innuendo.
boy.
You live to get
Innuendo.
things, that's how
Blades
that
is a
works.
double entendre.
My, that's a double-edged blade you have there. Okay, so essentially the heat is coming from a couple of things. There's rumors of a new lowborn Lothario who's going around and making time with all sorts of nobles, including a very fine old lady who comes from a great family. This is the Lady Lorette who the last score was on, so some heat came from that, and a little bit of heat just came from that noble who Than had to duel, and so there's a little bit of heat on the brothel as well, just kind of based on y'all's interaction with that the noble slain. So that's kind of where they're coming from, right? Is there is some noble animosity towards a few of your, or at least noble questioning and concern.
Sounds like jealousy to me.
About a few of your members. How would you go about reducing that and maybe calming some of the nobles of the city?
Yeah, I would say we gotta calm some of these nobles down. I don't know if I don't know, maybe I like pay back Lady Lorette for those drugs that I got from her to see if that would maybe like, I don't know, boost her favor a little bit. I mean, I guess if I had the coin for that, that's what I would do. Or, oh, I do have to do that thing for her, though.
You do. You owe that lovely woman a favor, darling.
But I feel like that's like, is that a group thing? I don't think I could do that by myself.
Yeah, no, we've opened up a new score for you, a new score opportunity.
Okay, so
for you guys to get some sweet, sweet blackmail dirt on people.
Maybe I do something related to my arcane abilities.
Interesting.
Or my spiritual abilities.
Yeah, let's go there. I already like the idea of that. What's up?
Let's see. I'm not super sure how magic works in this.
Okay. So
but I do have a friend named Flint who's a spirit trafficker.
Yes.
And maybe I could talk to him and see if he can give me some information that might help us. I don't know, like any spiritual activity that's going on that could help us as far as information goes. Anything the spirits can tell us about the nobles that we can use.
For sure. So let me tell you a little bit about how spiritualism works here, right? There are magic users, but they're incredibly rare. So your sort of magic, the interacting with ghosts and the dead, is far more kind of normal, even though there aren't a lot of people who can attune. It is believed that anybody could, given the right amount of training and time, although certain people are more naturally able to do it. The world around you essentially exists in two layers, right? There is the physical world that everyone sees every day, and then superimposed on top of that is a world only people who are attuned, such as you, can see, called the ghost field. The ghost field contains the emotional echoes of not just dead people, but buildings that used to exist that were of high emotional balance, right? So were you to choose to cast your sight using attune into the ghost field, you may see a church where now there is just a few row houses or some rubble because it was a place people celebrated births and deaths and all sorts of religious experiences there, right? So places with high emotional content. If a murder happens somewhere, some of the architecture of that place may still exist. And what's interesting is that as someone who is attuned, you can take advantage of that ghost field architecture. So if you are looking at a part of the ghost field and there's a blank wall in the real world, but there might be a door there in the ghost field, you can open that door and walk through that wall. Right? So you essentially can view two different realities at the same time and interact equally with both of them.
Okay.
Right? Plus, you can talk to spirits and, do shit with them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm thinking, as far as getting rid of heat goes, can I look and see maybe if there's, I don't know, their way I can blackmail someone into leaving us alone a little bit by finding something out that... Yeah, I would like to see if I can find something that maybe some nobles don't want us to know about or don't want anyone to know about, and then
I love it.
get them to leave us alone a little bit.
Okay. And what skill would you like to roll to do that?
Attune.
Of course. I'm going to call this Risky Standard. Risky Standard. Okay, so this was all about reducing heat, right? This isn't a you win or lose sort of thing. So you will reduce the crew's heat by 3, which is great.
Eat.
Because you have found out that Lord Slade, who was the Lord Adric Slade, who is the guy Taps fought the duel with, is secretly addicted to where is it? I have it here somewhere. A new drug called Lure.
Fuck that guy.
And you've never heard of Lure before, and you have your ear to the ground.
Well, whatever it is, Cordelia wants some of it.
You are able to send through one of your spirits an anonymous note saying that you will leave us alone, or the world will know about your addiction.
Cool.
Yeah?
Perfect. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And with that, downtime is complete. When we come back, we will go into open roleplay, where they will interact with each other, interact with the world, gather information, and then go on a score. So we're going to take a quick break so I can get some water, and hopefully everyone else can do what they need to do as well. And we'll be right back, maybe, if I get this in the right place. And that in the right place. Okay. Hello. I gotta find my be right back screen, but everyone else can feel free to hop out for a second while I do that. And I will, yeah, it's totally, why would that be the folder it's in? What is even that? What even is that? Okay. I hope everyone's having a great game. We've got a ton of bits. We got new followers today. We love you guys so much as I am vamping for time as I find my overlay file and get to the be right back screen so that I can actually have the right one. Okay, we'll be right Get back in now. All right, and we're back. All right, so we've completed our downtimes, added some new entanglements. We got characters got to interact on some pretty cool levels and get super drugged up. And all right. Oh my God, I can hear myself, and that means you can hear me. And there's a horrible echo, so I'm gonna mute that. Oop, there we go. At least I know the volume levels are good. That was crazy. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, we're back. Downtime is done. People have had sex, drugs, and string quartets. So it's been, I think, a pretty great downtime all around for you guys. We go now into open play. Here you can gather information about the world around you, generally role play, have your scenes, do whatever you guys want to do before we go into the score piece. So this is on you guys, what happens now. I'm going to step back.
So you had a score to bring to us, right, Cordelia?
Yes. So, Lady Lorette informs me that she would like a little bit of information. See if we can blackmail some folks for her, and I'm not sure what happened to the thing that was typed in here earlier. It's gone now.
Is she a friend of yours?
You could say that. We've worked together. We've played together. It's a pretty symbiotic relationship. She just she wants some help, and I think it could benefit us greatly. We can get some information from her. We help her do a little blackmail. It works out in our favor a little bit. I think we should do it.
Where does she believe the information resides?
That's what we have to find out. I think we have to, maybe I could go back again and talk to her some more. We were a little preoccupied at the time, but I think I could go back and talk to her a little more and find out where she thinks we should start.
I think we need a little bit more information first before we start this.
Yeah, so the basic information you were given is that Eldrin Pritchard, who's the owner of the Silver Swan Pleasure Barge, has blackmail on folks like your friend, the lady, and you as to their heavy drug use, and asked you to find and eliminate it. And she was not sure whether or not it was actually at the Silver Swan or if it was in his house. She didn't know where it was.
Mm-hmm. So those are the notes that were in here earlier.
Yeah, I saw that they all reset.
They reset?
Yeah, there was something typed when I first went to talk to her, and now they are gone.
So I do think Songbird would feel a little weird about trying to pull a score on Eldrin, since he's sort of his provider of vice.
Yeah. Oof.
Just in the wrong screen. Found it.
Oh, good.
So I'm thinking Cordelia would be going back to the Silver Swan or going back to see Eldrin Pritchard. Maybe under the guise of, I don't know, maybe they'll want to step up her vice a little bit more and see what she can find out. Kind of gain some trust and, I don't know, somehow get some evidence, some solid evidence that we can use after she or one of us goes to talk to him.
Is this the only score we have an opportunity for?
So you guys have the opportunity to find any score you want. I have given you a big old list of stuff. You don't just have to do this one. There's lots of opportunity out there.
Man, where's our shade when we need him?
Well, as a hound, you're also pretty good at following people. Are able to.
That's very true, because I do track people.
Yeah, so you're not just a sniper, you're also a tracker. You're like a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, well, I can always track him and see where he goes and see if that has anything to do with this. It might lead us to other options. Or maybe lead us to, his stash of blackmail.
Or if you guys want to do a different thing, by all means. I'm not committed to this one at the moment.
Yes.
So we're going to find.
then-
Oh, go ahead.
She's like, I'm more than willing to, put a few bullets, slash some necks if we needed to, but I have a feeling that this might be more up your alley.
So the blackmail information already exists, or we need to create some evidence?
It exists.
Okay.
I think it exists too.
She knows it exists. She wants us to find out what it is
And get
Yeah.
it.
and retrieve it so that he doesn't have it anymore.
Okay.
Does she have a list of specific people she wants that information of? Or is it just
Yeah, or
grab what
like,
we
does
can?
she know what the blacklist stuff is? Like, what exactly we're looking for? Like, is it photos? Is it, like, paraphernalia? Is it... Would we know that somehow? Would she have told us?
My guess might be, I don't know, maybe some nobles have personalized items. There might be something engraved that, like, I don't know, like a spoon or a pipe or something that they use that may be indicative of who owns it.
Throck, would she have told Cordelia how, like, what exactly we're looking for? Or would
They were
Cordelia
both
have to
fucked up, and she was hungover when she asked. So
Okay.
maybe she
Well
was just
then.
paranoid when she asked? There's not really anything.
Okay.
now you can use this time as well for more than just picking your next score. If you have, because one of the things we talked about was adding in more interaction between the party, and we're doing that in downtime, which I think is great. But this whole space is open play, right?
Yeah,
this
I
is
definitely
not,
have.
Yeah, this is not just pick your score and go to it. It's not. It doesn't need to be that.
Yeah,
mechanical.
maybe given that we've got about an hour here, maybe we can spend some time role playing together and think through what we might like to do next. And
Yeah.
that gives us a little bit of time to maybe hash out the details, for the next score.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Songbird would call a meeting of all present members. All right.
Here.
The others are busy going about their own business or otherwise. We should determine exactly what it is we wish to do next. We've successfully laid low. We've made some connections. We've made a bit of a name for ourselves. What now?
Well, given the fact that this is Cordelia's charge, I believe that she should call the shots. I mean, this is her friend who's asking her to do this, so I believe she should be in charge of this one.
Cordelia, can you summarize again exactly what it is, in your understanding, that you've been asked to do? And let it be known, let me just make it out there. I'm not comfortable performing any job in the Silver Swan. Eldrin has ever been, I won't say a friend, but a reliable source of information and entertainment for me. I don't think he's someone we'd like to make an enemy of. Please, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't think we should. I agree. We shouldn't be trying to make any enemies here. He might just be a source of information. We just need to keep some other nobles quiet. If there's a way we can get him to help us with that, that would be ideal. But Lorette did tell me there's evidence from Eldrin about a lot of other people, nobles specifically, about this new drug called Lua, and I think some of those other nobles would not be too fond of anyone else knowing that they are indulging and or helping to make this new drug.
What do we know about Lure?
Yeah, is there
Nothing.
anything we've
I know
learned?
nothing about Lure.
It is. You have never heard of it.
Well, right off the bat, there's something we could work on. We could work to
Exactly.
establish some knowledge about it.
Where is it
Someone
coming
must be
from?
pushing it. Yeah? Someone's manufacturing it. Someone's pushing it. Perhaps we could even sway Eldrin to assist us, although I'm sure it will not come without strings attached. But Eldrin and I have feasted together. I believe
So
he is open to a partnership. I'm trying to play him evil, Sean.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I do. I do. It was just so creepy. Oh my god. I loved it. I want to be clear. Did you kill that Arturo, or did you just enjoy him?
He would have followed. He would have followed Eldrin's lead.
There was no death then. Okay.
If it involved death, then sure, but I don't think so.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Got real weird.
Yeah, it got real weird. Okay, I just wanted to
Are
make
you
sure.
saying that Arturo retired after that?
Weird, weird.
Killing people
this
comes
entire
with...
episode is kind of weird.
Arturo might be a bit damaged after that.
That's fine. I will say that
Traumatized.
killing people comes with very specific consequences.
Yeah, no,
here,
I don't think we
so,
would have killed him.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I would say to avoid upsetting as few people as possible, we use Eldrin as a source of information in exchange for, I don't know, some sort of, I don't know. We'll make sure that if he's also partaking in the lore, that we don't tell anyone. But we do need him to help us get some information about some of the other nobles and their involvement in the lore. Maybe only available to nobles right now because it's too risky for, more common folk to know about it. There's more at stake for nobles to be into this kind of business or in this kind of activity, or maybe there's a noble who
find out more about this lore.
just wasn't satisfied with the level of high he was receiving, decided to create something new.
I think we should find out more about what this law is and what it exactly does before we really sort this out. I mean, we don't have any information on it. We don't know what it does or why they like it so much or why they use it so much or why it's so addicting.
It probably
Maybe
just makes
use
you feel
that
great.
information for
That's my
leverage.
assumption.
I imagine
Or they could be using
if
it for other
anyone-
purposes as well.
anyone would have a line on lore, it would be Eldrin.
Exactly.
I feel like we come to him as friends, maybe inquire about it.
Well, since he is Songbird's friend, maybe Songbird can get it out of him without any issues.
Oh, I wouldn't use the word friend, but we have been
A working
acquainted.
relation.
You could say that.
So acquaintance then. Either way, I still think you would have a better chance at getting information out of him than any of us.
I don't disagree. We could ask him about it. We could discover what we can about lure. We could see if we could get to the bottom of why it's gaining in popularity with these nobles. But I'm not prepared to move aggressively against. I'll tell you that much.
Oh no, that's
I
not
don't
the
think
best
that's
decision at
part
all.
of the plan at this time.
If you need any aggressive moves, leave that to me.
Now, that being said, Eldrin is certainly a man who is connected. Perhaps there's someone on that list that he does wish to take out. Perhaps he'd be willing to give us some additional information in exchange for a job on his behalf.
I'm very amenable to this.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind that at all. Depends on what sort of job it is, though. We
I
do have a
believe-
reputation to gain and to keep, so
Very well, then. We shall speak to Eldrin. Perhaps one of you or two of you could go and put your ear to the ground. Press your contacts and find out what you can about Lua. The more information we have, the better. We can't let Eldrin be our only conduit into this business.
he's the only one we know, but I'm sure we could certainly try and rally up some more information that way. I'm not sure if I have any contacts, though, that would know anything about this.
Cordelia, I imagine you've run into a few loose lips in your line of work.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk that goes on in the circles I've run in. Not to
like
mention,
another-
the spirits are very, very forthcoming.
Mm.
Maybe you could tap into them to help us out as well.
I mean, if I know where to look, I'm sure I could get some help from the ghost field and maybe see something that isn't normally seen. That makes sense. I could see through some doors. I could see through, maybe find some doors that don't exist to the rest of us. You could also ask around.
Bottom line is we need to figure out what this law is and how to use it to our advantage.
Perfect. And I am willing to provide any sort of backup or that anyone requires. I don't have connections that could give us this information.
I don't either, but
I can certainly provide any sort of support.
Yes. Same here. I don't,
And I'm just
I don't have any contacts
twirling
in
my
that
dagger
field as well.
on the table. Just kind of
Yeah.
spinning it.
Roxy goes around, she's like, I don't have any contacts there either, but you know me. You just say who needs bashing and I will do it.
Very well then. I think we have a plan. We'll find out what we
Do
can.
we?
We'll talk to Eldrin. We'll see if there's additional information. We'll see if there's a favor we can perform for him in exchange for this information.
I'm
What a
available
tangled
for
web.
favors.
Is that so?
Mm.
Well, the favor could be we just don't tell anyone that he's using lore himself.
In my experience, that's not much of a favor.
Maybe you could provide services, Cordelia.
We'll see whatever it is he wants.
Perfect.
It's a thought.
Okay.
Cordelia, do you have a moment?
Sure.
Lead her off to another room, just in private.
Songbird will watch like,
He sits up a little bit like,
Roxy kind of just raises an eyebrow at the two. But, still continues to watch him go on to the other room. Doesn't move.
Cordelia, I just wanted to apologize for my behavior the other day. I seem to have a bit of a temper, and I heard things crashing about, and instincts kicked in, and I was probably a bit out of line.
And it's okay. I mean, you probably prevented a even worse situation from happening. You may have even saved my hide a little bit back there because he was pretty keen on going around telling everyone I'd given him a disease. But I mean, I think it could have gone a lot worse if you hadn't stepped in and intimidated him a little bit. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for your apology.
Well, as long as you know that I do believe you can handle yourself. Sometimes I just take things into my own hands, and
I know.
I'm working on it.
It's all right. It's all right. It's a dangerous line of work I'm in, but I'm trying to trust people that we've made friends with. So I do appreciate you stepping in to help me because that does make me feel like I can trust you all a little bit.
If you ever need anything, you let me know.
Thank you.
Can there be a side cut to Songbird being like, and as I was saying, never, ever, ever trust anybody.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, perfect.
Just lecturing Roxy.
She goes, I can handle myself, thank you very much.
All right, so it sounds
Being
like you
the
guys.
rebel that she is.
All right, so it sounds like you guys have some stuff you want to try and do. Who wants to go first? What I heard was Songbird, at least, and possibly somebody else, are going to go talk to Eldrin. about Lure and what he may know about it and what they may have to do in return to get that information. Cordelia and someone else may go ply the underworld a bit more in order to figure out what's going on, maybe talk to some spirits and stuff like that. What else do we have? Anything?
I think that's
I think I'll go with Songbird.
okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Then I'll go with Cordelia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have druthers on who wants to go first?
We'll go.
Okay.
Sure.
All
right.
right.
So yeah, we would go at early dusk, like when they would be first opening. Well, right.
It's always
Of
night,
course.
but
Of course
yeah.
It's always night, right?
It's not blades in the brightness.
Whatever approximation of early evening, when the nightlife would really take off. I don't know. We'll go whenever. I don't give a shit.
So, thematically speaking, the shards of the dead sun appear at dawn and dusk, and only at dawn and dusk, casting the most pale of light, much like only having two full moons instead of just one over the. Yeah.
You broke up there.
Sorry. The sun. The shards that are left of the sun appear at dawn and dusk, casting the most pale of additional light, almost as if it was two full moons instead of one, over the world. And for those moments, there's these red glowing shards in the sky, passing like almost an asteroid belt as they go across.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah, we would show up there in similar fashion.
Okay.
And I think before we left, Song would be like, "I'm sorry, Roxy. You know we're going to somewhere, shall we say, a bit finer than you're used to. Try again, darling. Ask Cordelia if you can borrow a shirt. That's not a shirt. That's some sort of, I don't know.
All my shirts are booby shirts, so I'm sorry in advance.
They're all very low cut, very revealing.
We got a button or five missing.
Maybe you can think of me more as your bodyguard than anything else. I don't think I would fit in very well as your lady friend, so...
No, of course you're right. You couldn't possibly fit in that way. Well, let's be off then.
I could try. Jeez, just insult her more, why don't you, bitch? You are dealing with a sharpshooter here, so I mean, you better watch what you say, bro. But yeah, she kind of just like raises her eyebrows and scowls, and she's like, "Let's just go and get this over with."
Okay, so you guys make it back to the northern portion of Brightstone, right along the river's front there. Across the way, you can see the high cliffs of White Crown and the castle and the other governmental buildings upon it, and the lights are just starting to turn on this steamship casino land of debauchery that is Songbird's home away from creepy home. Only one of the guards is out right now, Billy. He's just kind of hanging out front, making sure things are nice, sweeping up the catwalk up, or the gangplank up onto the boat, getting the red velvet ropes out on either side of it and getting them hooked up as they're starting to open. And that's the scene that's before you. It's relatively dead up there right now.
Songbird would nod to him. Hello, William. Thank you. You're doing a wonderful job.
It's Billy. You know it's Billy.
But you know I love to bother you, Billy.
Yeah. Fine.
Your mother called you William, didn't she?
Yes. Not that it's any of your business.
Good lad. Don't mind her. She's really quite harmless.
She's not quite dressed for the occasion, sir.
Tell me about it, Billy. We won't be long. Just a word with Eldrin. We'll be out of your hair. Quick.
He gives you this kind of suspicious look for a moment and goes, right. You're a good customer, just behave. And you try and fade into the background or something, I guess.
I'll try my best. And she'll give him the most cheekiest smile she can give him. Just not even just making fun of him.
Nice. All right, you guys make your way up. You don't immediately see. It's Edwin, right? Hang on. Eldrin, you don't immediately see. I didn't name Eldrin, but I named a bunch of these people, and none of them are stuck in my head. You don't immediately see Eldrin on the main deck there.
He would walk around, talking over his shoulder to Roxy, but not walking side by side. He'd be like, over there is where they sometimes have some of the finest music you've ever seen. Not that you'd appreciate it.
Interesting. She's kind of still scowling and not even caring at this point.
Okay. You do see a couple of waitresses moving around, a couple of waiters. Some of the staff is starting to get things set up. It's very much pre-game time here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably has an idea of where Eldrin's private area is at this point.
Oh, you're very familiar with Eldrin's private area at this point.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
he does have quarters on the ship, although you know they aren't his permanent quarters. So and there's a small office in there and things. It's where he does business and pleasure.
I would just head that way.
Okay. Yep. As you get up there, it's on the top deck. There's essentially a small boathouse, or not boathouse, a small
pilot house.
Pilot house, yeah. Which essentially constitutes a very small fourth floor of this place. And attached to the back of it is that study and bedroom that you're familiar with. And it is the captain's quarters. It is currently shut, although there's no pilot here. Yeah.
Well, here goes nothing, Roxy.
Good luck.
Who is it?
It's Sebastian, darling. I just need a moment of your... Please.
Sebastian. One moment, let me get a little less naked. And after a moment, he opens the door, and he's wearing just kind of a red silk robe and nothing else. A little bit open up to the thigh.
Roxy just praised him there, bro.
Sebastian will be like, pleasure to see you again, Eldrin.
Pleasure to see you as well, my friend. And who is this lovely flower you have brought with you?
He would kind of bristle it, do a second take,
Yeah,
flower. Good.
She does the same thing. When she hears that. She
He'd
goes,
be like,
name's Roxy.
It's an absolute pleasure to meet you, my darling. What business do you have with me here, my
If you
friend?
lay a hand... She's like, and just to let you know, if you lay a hand on me, you may not have a hand.
Darling, you needn't threaten Eldrin. He's an old friend. I'm ever so sorry.
Are you threatening me in my own... Songbird, sir, did you come here just immediately to threaten me?
Oh, Roxy, no, we talked about this. Eldrin, I'll fill you in. We should be behind closed doors.
Fine. On our previous relationships, we will
He
be
would
behind...
turn and just kind of glare at Roxy as they go in, like, fuck.
She gives him a cheeky smile and follows him in.
Get in, sit down, and speak.
Alright, he would
And
look
his whole
at-
demeanor has changed the minute he got threatened, by the way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian would kind of where to begin? Alright. Eldrin. There's something you don't know about me. I and a few others are, well, we're up-and-comers, as it were. We have a bit of an enterprise.
You've always seemed like the enterprising sort to me.
Of course, you know the type. Eldrin, I won't lie to you, we're not movers and shakers, no, but we've got several successful jobs under our belt, and we're starting to make a name for ourselves. I know you're a man who appreciates the arts, a patron, if you will. We are nothing but artists. Even Roxy here, for all of her gruff demeanor, is a bit of an artist herself. One of the finest sharpshooters you've ever seen. I watched her explode the head of a man who had it coming from 1,000 yards away, believe it or not. And so we're here with a unique... sorry, what was that, darling?
You see Roxy, when you when you say that, she does kind of like relax a little. She kind of like at that, not really like perks up, but like you can tell that she's a little less tense, like with the compliment that you just gave her.
Yeah, he would smile at her. And so we heard a little rumor from a little bird about something called lure. Perhaps you've heard of it. I see that that's no surprise to you. Eldrin, I will lay it out to you plainly, and I don't do this for many. But you and I have shared delights together, and we've broken bread.
We've broken more than bread, my friend.
Indeed we have. Indeed. My proposition is that you're a man who knows much. You see all of us at our lowest and our highest. And I can tell behind those eyes is a keen memory, wheels constantly turning. I have no doubt that you have relationships with other enterprising outfits such as ours, but perhaps none, Eldrin, are so committed to working for you. Eldrin, my team and I, we're looking for someone. We're looking to be someone's right hand, someone's fingers in the pies. I propose a trial run. You have information on nobles and their usage of lure. We are a very capable outfit. How can we help you?
I find it presumptuous that you think I know of any nobles who use that drug. What makes you think that I've even heard of such a thing?
Eldrin, please don't take me for one of those slobbering idiots who come in here high on... What's it called? The drug?
Lure.
Delirium?
No,
Delirium.
the other one. Delirium.
Oh, delirium. Yeah.
Delirium,
I wrote it down
staggering
this time.
about, holding on to the railing of the ship and retching overboard. You have known me as very few have known me.
I doubt that. You
Let's
seem
pay
quite
each other.
experienced to me.
Ooh.
Exactly, you do know me, you see.
Okay.
Let's not pretend that either of us is oblivious. We can work together, Eldrin. Have I not at least piqued your interest, Eldrin? If not, you tell me and my friend and I will turn tail and leave, and I shall return as a paying customer of the Silver Swan, as delightful as the place is. Or we could deepen this relationship, Eldrin.
He looks at you, and then he quickly snaps his head over to Roxy. And goes, Miss, your friend has a silver tongue and other desirable qualities as well, and knows how to weave a tale, but you have left something to be desired. Tell me why a man I should trust would associate himself with someone like you.
Because of my talents, good sir.
At making nobles angry on first impression? Of blowing up people's heads? Mine is a subtle art. What? Why?
Well, mine is subtle as well if I choose it to be, or it can be just as explosive as that man's head was. My talents include tracking as well as sharpshooting. I can basically know where a person goes, when, or, when they're going, why. Eventually why. But where they're going, and when. And I can figure out that without even being seen.
You're gonna need to convince him
I knew it.
that you're worth his time.
Okay.
You have given me a good argument. What would you roll to underscore that? How would you prove that?
Trying to think here, because I don't really have anything.
You can be creative as you like with it, right?
I know. The only thing I really have is command, but I don't want to use that because I could put him off.
No, don't command that, dude. I mean, you could probably even show your skirmish. You could be like,
demonstrate,
you could like give a quick weapons demonstration or something. Maybe not a weapon.
Yeah, like could I use my hunt for that?
Yeah, and how would you use the hunt skill to explain to him without actually going off and tracking someone?
Probably so we're in his room, right?
Yeah.
Does he have a window that's open?
Yeah, there's windows on either side of the room and at the back.
Okay. Are there any birds outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
That are passing by. So I want to attempt to use my hunt to try and shoot one of those birds.
Okay. You can make a hunt roll. There can be, if you have any way to help Songbird. I don't know that you do, but this could be a team effort of some kind.
Well, since this is an attempt to convince him, I mean, shooting the bird is only part of it, right? Shooting the bird shows the competency, but doesn't show the trust and the level of intimacy. So I would attempt to assist with sway. Like, as she's doing it, I would be subtly like, tell me that's not one of the best forms you've ever. Such a sharpshooter you've never met, I assure you that. You see, where our art is more of a scalpel, hers is, shall we say, a targeted hammer blow, only when necessary. Some shit like that.
Okay, yeah. So actually, I want to start with Roxy's because it's going to set the difficulty for your Songbird. However well she does is going to be the difficulty in effect. So Roxy, you're going to be risky standard. And remember, you can take a stress for an extra die if you so choose. You can take 2 stress for an extra die, I should say.
I'll take 2 stress for an extra die.
Okay. Yep, so this will be a risky standard hunt roll with 1 bonus die.
Okay. If it would let me. One bonus die.
All right, you shoot. So it is not your cleanest shot. Rolling a 5 means that you succeeded with complication. It's interesting. You opened the door, or you opened the window to take the shot, but the reverberation from the shot itself actually shatters the window, and there is some consternation when that happens. The bird goes down quickly and painlessly, but as the shot goes off, the window that you kind of, you open it up, and it's one of those double-paned windows, so it goes up and stops, and you still got the second half of the window upright. You get out there, you fire, and the sound of the rifle, the reverberation of it actually shatters a couple of panes of glass. And he goes, well, now I'm going to have to pay to replace those.
She's like, damn, refurbished windows.
So I'm going to set you at risky limited.
Okay. Can I hear your devil's bargain?
Interesting. And anyone can throw one of these out for him, by the way. As he attempts to sway, what is a devil's bargain? That the proprietor of a den of vice would give. I actually want to look something up, but we're doing that as well.
In exchange for
For an extra die.
Yeah. Okay. You're not in tune at all with the spirit world, right? Or you can't see or be affected by...
Not a bit.
Maybe it could be like you can't deceive or bluff as successfully as you normally can.
So he will find some. He will have, like, he'd have to give up some secret of his own in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really like that because I think that's very thematic, Kim. I think it's not that he can't lie as well. It's just that Eldrin knows him at this point well enough to be able to wheedle a secret out of him as well. So
Yeah. That's up to you guys.
the devil's bargain is that in your attempt to sway him, you will have to give him a piece of information about you that nobody else knows.
Okay. Fair.
Would I hear this as well?
Yeah, and that adds the extra complication. I like that. Yeah, Roxy will hear being in the room.
Okay.
All right.
That was a good one, Kim.
I'll take it. Position's
Because
risky. Outcome effect is limited.
Yeah,
And 1 bonus die.
yeah. And you can you take stress to increase?
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Effect, I was gonna say, but yeah.
we use
Okay,
both.
All right, here we go.
let's do it. Nice. Okay.
Oof.
So, my friend, you've shown me that she has some talent, and she even smiled once while she was in here, and that at least shows some propensity for human emotion. And so, and knowing you as I do, I feel like possibly we could do business, but I need to know a little something from you as well.
It seems only fair. Are you familiar with Countess Delia Relzum? Do you know her?
I know the name.
Well, I've gotten to know her quite intimately, as it were, and her servant girl, Jenna, discovered me, and to my horror discovered my fraud. She is now blackmailing me. I'm feeding her coins every few weeks. And she hasn't told her lady that I am nothing but, well, a street rat.
Delicious. Excellent. Are you
I love
bullshitting him?
Nope, that's all in my backstory.
Okay, sweet. All right, just checking. That's delicious. I love it. I believe I
There,
can do
Eldrin.
business.
We've established some degree of trust. You've met Roxy, a quite capable sniper, if rough around the edges socially.
Indeed.
I'm a
So what is it
legend,
you want me to
not a
tell
poker.
him?
Having
what is it?
seen the combination of our talent,
Yes.
how can you best put us to use?
Well,
And
my
all
friend,
we want in exchange is a little bit of information about some of the nobles who are investigating Lure.
I believe I have an idea for you. My associates within my personal political predilection seem to be concerned about the owner of the Centralia Club. His name is Harville Brogan.
How do you spell it?
Harvale.
Oh god, multiple people editing the character sheet at once.
Sorry, I thought you guys wanted me to do it, but you can go for
Sorry,
it.
I was.
Oh,
Go ahead. You got
I
it.
have it written down, like written down too. If you guys
Hands off.
now, so
His name is-
Man.
All right, Kimmage is his bookkeeper. His name is Harvale Brogan. He's the owner of the Centralia Club, Harvale Brogan. He is, of course, a competitor of mine, but his quality of people is nowhere near as high as mine. But those old gods seem to want to be using that place as a meeting area for them, and I would be fascinated to know who signs into and who signs out of the private meeting room he reserves in the back. If you could get me that ledger, I would be most appreciative, and I believe my tongue would be much looser.
What's he the owner of?
The Centralia Club, Centuralia Club, a high-class watering hole and gambling establishment on the circle, on the main open park area, just on the side of it where all the businesses are, in Brightstone.
Right. Then I believe we've established a bit of a deal. We'll prove ourselves to you, Eldrin, and we'll continue to work together thereafter. I can see it already. A blooming relationship. Thank you, Eldrin.
I do hope so, and let me tell you this. Lure is incredibly dangerous. It's, as you know, young nobles like to duel and like to take risk, and this is their new status risk. So be careful.
We will. Thank you.
Scene. Yeah. All right. So, now we go down into the underworld with Cordelia and Taps. So you guys were looking for more information specifically about lure and about what's going on with it, who's consuming it, all that sort of thing. So tell me how you want to approach it.
Supplying it.
Yeah, all of that good stuff. So tell me how you want to approach that.
I would say that I have far less experience in the underbelly than I think Cordelia may. So I'm following her lead on where we should go, and I'm there to support any action.
So my assumption is, in addition to the brothel itself, the streets around the area, that quadrant of the city would also be posted up with courtesans. So
Yes.
yeah, I would walk around that area with Taps and see if I can pinpoint any of my fellow courtesan friends, anyone that I've gotten drugs from or taken drugs with, or just seen passing about in the business. So I'm gonna go to one of the regular routes that I would normally be on or normally know of my associates to frequent, and see if I recognize anybody.
You
who's
do.
working.
You see Queenie. Queenie is an old friend of yours. She has been working the streets for a long time. One of the things about people who work on the streets as opposed to who work in the brothels are those who are very young and haven't made a name for themselves and who are or kind of out of their prime and not still a real earner in the same way, right? So they essentially pick up the street work. Whereas those of you who are in your prime tend to work in the brothels themselves and command a higher price. And Queenie is... Huh?
Oh, and the riverboat, I would say.
Yeah, and the riverboat. But like the difference is the people who work there are the courtesans who work inside, and then there's the more and who are the more desirable to the general population sort, and then there are the less experienced and the over the hill sort who work the streets because they can't earn as much.
Gotcha.
But you see her standing, she's very tarted up. She's wearing this bright pink sort of dress with like these white frills on it. She's got a decrepit old tiny white top hat kind of cocked to one side on her head. And she has this like dilapidated old umbrella she's holding on to as she leans on the corner of an alley, just kind of talking to people as they come by. And she's like, "Hey, buddy, you want a good time?"
I can see why she's not making that much.
Hey, Patty.
Queenie, my darling, how are you?
Oh, sweetie, Cody, how you doing, dear?
I'm good.
What can I do for you? I'm trying to earn tonight a little bit so I can get some food.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I just wondering if I could talk to you for a minute. Do you have a few minutes to spare? We could go somewhere private.
Oh, for you, dear, I'd do anything. What do you need, Hans?
Hold on, I have to check something really quick. Do I have enough coin to give her something? I don't think I do. I'm broke AF. All right.
Well, with the agreement of the group, you can also use team coin, right? You have your personal money, but you also have your crew's money that you could also possibly use.
I don't have any. I must not have been tracking my personal money, so it's fine. It's no worries.
You probably don't have any yet.
I probably don't have any.
Yeah.
So
Should have
Um,
one at least.
Oh yeah, everybody's got one. Yeah, everybody starts with 1 coin. Yeah, you have 1 coin.
I don't like her that much to give her 1 coin. So
I'm not impressed. Taps was like, "Oh, we're gonna go see some of your friends." You get there and it was,
um,
oh.
there we go.
He
All right,
was excited for a while and then just not as excited.
oh, actually, if I have any like delirium on me, that's what
Oh yes, you definitely have some drugs on you.
I'll give her some delirium. I'll be like, honey, I was just wondering if you could give me a little bit of information about some things you may have heard or some people you may have met with that. Did anyone talk about anything called Lua? Have you heard anything about a new drug?
Lua? I don't. I don't really want to talk. I mean, I've kind of heard of it.
Honey, it's okay. You know you can trust me.
Well, and she looks at the delirium, and she looks back up at you, and she kind of gives in and goes, "Well, I haven't done it myself, and wow, I just went southern. I haven't done
Yeah,
it
let's say, wow. Gets a hold of some delirium.
right?
Holy crap!
Oh my,
You went full southern there.
Oh,
like,
right.
man.
Sweetie,
I do declare.
I do declare. I haven't done it myself, but I
Taken by the vapors.
I have heard of it before. I know some people who do it. It's just going to be Southern now. Accept it.
Okay, all right.
I have heard rumors of people doing it before, and it doesn't go well. And I know how much delirium are you going to give me?
I've got about 6 doses worth
Okay.
that I could spare if you can help me out.
All right. Well, I do know someone who supposedly can buy it if you need to. Although I don't think you should, honey. It's dangerous stuff.
How so? What's it like? Have you tried it?
No, but I've heard some nasty things about it, what it does to people.
What does it do to people?
Makes them real angry, makes them fight, makes them wanna destroy things.
Makes me want to fight and destroy things. So where would I get this from? Who do you know who's getting it out to people?
Well, yeah, there's a guy down in Char Hollow called Noggs who supposedly has a line on some.
Okay. Is there anything else you can tell me? Is it limited to just certain circles of people who are trying it? Do you know if anyone who's cooking it up or?
Well, I don't know who cooks it up. I don't know who would cook up something like that. It's just real dangerous, and the people who traffic in it are not nice people. They're not right folk like you and I. They're violent.
Right, because we're the upper crust of society. Okay, Queenie, sure.
I kind of flex my muscles a little bit when she says violent. I'm just like,
the parlance of right folk. Just to let you guys know, as a piece of Duskwall lore, those who fall under the Concord and follow the rules set out by the Dawn are right folk. They don't kill other gang members. They don't run violent acts on other gang members of any kind. They only, with sanction, run operations on other gangs. And so her saying these aren't right folk means that they're playing against the rules.
Okay. All right. Well, my friend Taps here. He's a good friend of mine. Would you feel comfortable maybe showing us the general direction you can find Shaw Hollow, or
Well, I mean, Char Hollow's a big neighborhood. You'll be able to find it quite easy if you haven't been down there before. But it's works out of the back of a old blacksmith that's been run down for a while, called the Two Penny Nail.
Okay. Well, do you have any other questions, Taps? Is there anything I'm forgetting?
Yeah, Taps, you got any questions for me? And she like puts her hand on your bicep, gives you a wink.
I don't believe we have any more questions at this time.
Queenie's probably real hungry. She could use some coin. Okay, well, Queenie, I
I'll
wish
do a
you
lot
the
of
best.
stuff for a little coin.
I will absolutely keep that in mind, my dear.
We really do gotta get going, honey. I'm sorry that I can't do more for you. Hopefully this delirium will kind of get you through the night, and maybe you can get some money to eat.
I'm so appreciative, doll. I thank you so much for what you've given me. I just remember the old days when I got to work inside too.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
Hold on to them while you got them and put a little aside so you don't end up like me, alright?
All right, Queenie, thank you.
Thank you.
And then I guess we would set off to Char Hollow.
Yeah, Char Hollow is, as you move down there, it is the most kind of eclectic, smashed together neighborhood on the map, which sadly folks can't see. It is essentially this area, right? It's this set of islands that kind of form that, I don't know what you want to call it, a hang down, for lack of a better term, with where you see like the Crow's Nest, Blackshaw Manor, Spirit Warden's office. It's that set of islands, right? It's Char Hollow, and it has a very strong sense of community about it, and it's lower middle class working folk, but it is also, there's lots of gang activity here. Everyone knows that the gang that has technical control over Char Hollow is called the Red Sashes. And the other piece of rumors that anybody who's been in the underworld for any amount of time knows is that the new leader of the Red Sashes straight up murdered the old leader of the Red Sashes to take control.
Leader of the Dead Sashes now.
More like dead hey.
That's usually how that works. Kill the leader, you become the new leader.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So what are you guys doing? How are you gonna... You know that somewhere here there is the Two Penny Nail, which is an old rundown blacksmith, where possibly Noggs is trafficking drugs out of.
Do you want to take the lead on this one, or should I?
Yeah, we can do that. I can. I'm losing my accent, guys.
It's hard.
I did it too. It's cool. It's fine. I also screwed up my
What
accent.
happens
It's
when you
fine.
deal with the underworld,
Now I'm
man?
just like, yeah, I can take the lead on this, no problem.
What do you want? I can go take a lead on this. Hey,
You know,
hey.
hey,
You want me to whack a guy? I'll whack a guy.
where
Let's do it.
I kind of know the guy.
Put it as rubbing off funny, man.
Absolutely. I would like to. I mean, do I need to roll to see if we can find this place, or?
How would you like to search for it?
Honestly, just walk the streets and.
Yeah. So, what do you think the best thing as you kind of randomly walk the streets? Looking for
Survey.
this? Survey would be, I think, great for this. So go ahead. It is controlled and standard. You're not in any danger here at all. This is you're just walking around. Yeah. So it is on your map. Where's my little writing stick? Come to me, writing stick. It's not you. That's there we go. Freehand. Doink. The Two Penny Nail is right here. Doink.
Ah. Perfect.
So it is at the end of a street overlooking a large canal. You do see a few gondoliers doing their business in the canal. It's where two of the larger kind of sub-river tributary rivers meet within this chain of islands that makes up Duskwall. And it does not look like it's in any good repair at all. And it is surrounded by other buildings that are kind of run down. And one of them still looks inhabited, but looks inhabited by not
Squatters.
squatters. Yes, thank you, squatters. Next to it, there is a fairly seedy inn called the Rusty Bucket. And then at the other kind of southern end of those three buildings, there is a burnt-out wreck of a home.
Is there...
So it's like squatters are here. Oh, come on. Why does it automatically assign me? I hate that. Squatters are here. Rusty Bucket. Burned out wreck. Yeah.
Do we notice any traffic in and out of the blacksmith, the two penny nail?
No, none at all.
Not at all.
What about the other buildings? They're
There,
supposedly run down.
there is some folks coming in and out of the Rusty Bucket, and there are a few lights, obviously like fires, kind of flickering in and out of one of the third floor of the building that has the squatters in it. And Cordelia, you get this tingle on the back of your neck here.
Okay.
Some Wiggins.
Yeah. Taps. I think we might be walking into a little more than we can see right now. At least a little more than you can see. And I don't know if I need to attune to the ghost field to see anything here, or if we should just walk a little farther and...
Attuning to the ghost field would allow you to see the ghost field here. Indeed.
I think I should do that. I would like to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't know why this is, but you are in a desperate situation.
It's desperate.
It is desperate, but it is a standard effect.
But you can feel that, like, so she knows that she's desperate, right?
Yes.
But she would be able to communicate that to me, and I would then know
That-
we are
yeah.
in a desperate situation.
You feel like there's significant activity here for some reason. There's either a really strong echo of some former really strong emotional event, or there are a bunch of spirits or something.
Mm-hmm.
But as your eyes kind of glaze over for a minute and you cast your gaze into the spirit, into the ghost field, around you, you see first children playing in the streets with this kind of greenish glow about them and this echo coming off the back of them. And you hear them in your mind as you cast your eyes into the ghost field, laughing and having fun. And in front of you, you see that whole block, including the building I haven't marked within that block. So those 5 buildings used to be a temple to some deity you are not familiar with, as the only church that is still worshipped is the Church of Ecstasy, and all the old gods were stopped being worshipped hundreds of years ago. This temple, made of glimmering marble with a obsidian dome at the top of it, rises 5 stories in front of you with large flowing steps going up it. And the most terrifying piece of this isn't that thousands, or hundreds I should say, of children apparently lost their lives on this spot, and that's the only reason their ghost imprints would be here. It's that slowly but surely you see their essences being pulled from their beings, circling this building and being drawn into it. And what's more, as you cast your gaze up, you see more people, adults as well, their spirits circling this place. And a vortex sits, purple and gold, at the top of this building. And I'm actually going to ask you for a roll here. I need you to make a resistance roll for me. Okay, well, I shouldn't say it that way. I should say that you feel incredibly overcome by the amount of spirit energy that is here, and it almost feels as if you're getting dragged into it. How would you want to deal with that?
I'm gonna, if I can physically grab Taps's arm and kind of ground myself into the physical world, I would like to try and do that.
Okay.
Because him not being attuned, I feel might help. I don't know.
Yeah. I really like that narratively. So this will be a resistance roll for you to not suffer some harm.
Can I Can I
So-
tell she's in some kind of distress here, or
You hear her go, and that's about it. So the reason I'm telling you a resistance roll is because when I tell you something bad is about to happen to you, right, you always have the option to say, I resist it. And I'm pretty sure we haven't really discussed that as a mechanic yet. And so instead of this being such a powerful thing, it starts from a position of harm. And you have to attempt to resist that harm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would make a resistance roll in order to try and shrug that off.
Do I just roll a d6?
So you will make a resistance roll, which you will choose which attribute in this case you will want to resist with.
can I offer any type of assistance in this whatsoever?
Yeah, I'm gonna say her grabbing you gives her a bonus die.
Okay. Because I would like grab her back and be like, well, what's going on? Like trying to talk to her.
Yeah, let me look up resistance rolls real quick to make sure I'm running them right. 32, 33. Because I want to make sure that we're learning the mechanic as we go through, and we haven't really needed to do one of these yet. And you've given me the opportunity to, for which I thank you. Oh yeah, I choose the attribute based on the nature of the consequences, which I think is resolve.
Okay.
Right. And so you will make a resolve resistance roll.
Oh, okay. I can just click resolve. Okay.
Yes.
Do you want me to explain what I'm doing?
Yes, tell me how you are, other than we know physically you're grabbing taps, sorry. Physically you're grabbing taps. What else are you doing? How are you struggling against this?
So, in addition to attuning to the ghost field and understanding spectrology, I feel like I could also understand that this isn't physically happening, and I would try to mentally resist being pulled into something that I know is in a field that doesn't directly affect me physically.
I think that makes a world of sense, and I like it. So you'll get, this is going to be desperate, risky, I'm sorry, desperate, limited, 1 bonus die.
Resolve only lets me click the bonus dice.
Oh, yeah, because it's resolved. There's no effect to it, sorry. But yeah, click your bonus die. I'm still learning too. All right, you got a 5. That's going to give you enough to pull out of it, right? You will take 1 stress, and you will take migraine as a level 1 harm on you.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
I would just have her, and I'd be like, Cordelia, what just happened? Are you okay?
I'm holding my head and I say, something horrible happened here. It's not still a temple, right? It's something
It's not
else
still
now.
a temple. Yeah, it is what I described originally.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
5 building.
Yeah.
Not like a dilapidated temple. Okay, so taps, I can feel, in addition to the spirit world, there's a great amount of distress here. There was a temple at one point. Oh, something horrible happened to all the children here. And some of their families, they're all trapped in a vortex, and I think that's why it's so strong here, but something terrible happened. And there's a vortex and everyone seems to be trapped here. I can't figure it out, but there's something inside, I think, that's contributing to this. It's just a horribly strong negative energy, and I don't understand.
And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Ah.
All right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Good one.
Yeah.
I love
Hey,
this
Vincent Cross, thank you for the bits, brother.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
Nice.
Okay, so let's do XP real
Oh,
quick, because
man.
I'd like to do that at the end of the
Yeah.
session. And we're going to start with Kimages because she went last anyways. So Cordelia, how did you like today's game?
It was fascinating. It was good. It was definitely a lot more than I thought I was going to be doing with her as a character. But also a little bit like I thought I'd be doing with her character. Yeah, it was awesome.
Excellent. So let's take a look at your XP. Did you address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power?
Yep.
Did you do it more than once?
Yep.
Take 2 XP. Did you express your beliefs, drive, heritage, or background?
Yep.
Did you do it more than once?
No, I think just once.
Okay. What do you think it was?
So the background was definitely her. Well,
What's up?
no, I think just talking to Queenie would be in regards to her background. The thing on the riverboat, I think, would be.
Yeah, I actually like that. Both in terms of your beliefs and your background, I think that Queenie, the Queenie interaction, I think, was really telling of where you come from and where you could possibly go if things go in a bad direction for you. So I would give you the XP for that as well. Does anybody disagree there?
Oop.
Okay.
No.
And did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas? Yes, you did. Indeed,
I got high as
you
balls.
did. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a whole new complication because of that. So yeah, take your XP for that.
Okay.
All right. So next up, let's do Roxy. Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
Yes.
You killed a bird. I will give it to you, 100%.
What is with this channel and murdering birds?
Right?
Right?
We torture birds. We shoot birds.
Man.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yes.
I think you did that twice. I think
Yeah.
the work you did in overcome or working with your trying to get your Scovelin revolution up and started, even though you didn't get any progress on it, I think is absolutely both a drive and a background for you. And then I think the way that you interacted personally, I think the way that you interacted with Eldrin would also be very much within your belief system.
Okay.
Anybody agree, disagree?
I agree.
Well, makes sense.
And then, did you struggle with issues from vice or traumas during this session?
Yes.
Yes? Explain.
My advice I did.
Did you struggle with issues from it, though?
Well, didn't the Scovelin guy get arrested and he might rat me out? Would that be considered an issue?
That hasn't happened yet. It's only going to happen, you think. Yeah. So there will be an issue there, but I don't think...
No?
Okay, yeah, I don't think on that one. I think when that guy rats you out, that will be dealing with issues, right? That'll be struggling with issues from your vice. At the moment, there's no struggle for you, I don't think there, but there definitely will be. Yeah.
Okay.
Although I'm willing to hear you telling me that, like, I'm willing to hear a counter argument.
Well, no, I just thought that had already happened, so I don't have a counter argument for that.
Okay, yeah, so he's been arrested,
So.
And you have heard a rumor that this guy might rat you out. But there has been no direct action yet, right?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you're up to 4, nice. And then let's do Songbird. Oh, and hey, what, did you have fun today? Did you like it? Tell me what you thought.
Oh yeah, no, I had total fun. I'm glad that I get to play her a little bit more like RP style normally. You know, and that I actually got to do, you know, her accent without sounding like I'm completely congested and stopped up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, you know, that I actually got, like, from an RP standpoint, that I got to play her a lot more than, you know, than rolling and whatnot. So I'm really glad about that. And I was very excited for it today, especially since we didn't get to play last week. So
yeah,
as Fan said earlier, I was very squirrely to play this. So
yeah, excellent. So many things. All right, let's go to Taps. Or no, let's go to Songbird. I have your character sheet up. Songbird, did you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy?
I think yes.
I also think yes. Did it occur multiple times?
I don't think so. I think just the one approach to getting information on the people with loot I don't think there was any more than that.
I think you're probably right. I'm trying to think of another. You had some great interactions today, but I don't think any of them, like the big setup, was at the end for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah. So did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think yes. Possibly twice. So one of my beliefs is people are instruments, and I always want to be the conductor. I think he sort of organized the approach to the job, sort of putting people's talents where they were. I mean, that was fairly collaborative, but I felt like he was driving it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the other one is his drive is to make our gang the go-to for high-profile police espionage, and I think he was absolutely laying the groundwork to do that by forming the partnership with Eldrin. So I think
agree.
Yes on that.
Yes. I absolutely would give you the 2 for that as well. Anybody disagree with that?
Nah.
No, he's dead on.
Sweet.
Nope.
And then last but not least, did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma during this session?
I don't think so. I rolled right on with my vice, and I think he just got an opportunity to live deliciously.
I think that is also correct. Yes, I think you got to live deliciously today. But I do believe that advances you, right? You're going to get to choose a new special ability.
That does indeed, and I already have decided what I'm going to get. I'm going to purchase Calculating, which will give him an extra downtime action.
Holy
Downtime
crap.
actions are kind of my favorite,
Yeah.
so they're fun enough. So I
love
think he can do a third now.
Fabulous. All right, you are now calculating while weaving the web. And last
It makes
but
the most sense, I think, for him, right? I looked
Yeah.
at the other one, thought maybe
Yeah.
connected, but I don't think he's quite connected yet. I think he has
Yeah.
to get to that point.
I also think Foresight is one that will be good for your character at some point as well.
Yeah,
But I think you're
so,
right.
too.
Calculating is a solid foundation moving forward.
Like, I think he's all like, okay, good night, everybody. Staring at the wall, like, going through in his head all the things he needs to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I think he's crazy and evil. And I love him.
Right. He's
I would
really
say
cool.
you love him so much. You can just tell.
And
So
then
when
last. Oh, go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, sorry. I
Okay.
was just gonna ask, when we XP up, like fill them all up, you get a new ability?
You get a new
Yeah,
ability.
from
Yeah,
your-
that's what.
Because there's basically 2 different places you're tracking experience, Kim. So if you train or roll something from a desperate position, then you put it under Insight, Prowess, or Resolve, one of the little marks there. And once that fills up, you get to put a dot in one of the 4 skills underneath those. For the other ones, for the Address a Challenge, Express Beliefs, or Struggle with Issues, those go towards your playbook advancement. And when that fills up, you get a new special ability from your playbook.
Love
Yes.
it.
Yeah. All right. And then Cola.
Absolola.
Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion today?
So much.
So much. I would say.
At least twice.
I would say, yeah, you only get the XP twice, but I would say there were at least 2 times. It was with the same guy, but they were different entanglements. So I
what
would
I
give you 2 for that. Yeah.
2 separate moments.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I'm going to make some arguments for 3 points here.
You can only get 2 there, brother.
I can't get 3. Okay, well, then that's fine. Well, then I'll explain all of them, and we'll pick 2 of them.
Okay.
My belief that my first reaction is usually the correct one when I barged into the room and just slapped this dude. I totally believe I was totally right in doing that. And I have a feeling based on things that have been mentioned that I might have been really right on that. But then my drives specifically to gain a reputation that strikes fear into the hearts of those who would make themselves my enemy. I feel like I did that twice. But
I think you did. You won a duel.
I won a duel, and I just literally walked into this room and bitch slapped this dude and told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
So hard.
So, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You manhandled him.
Okay, yeah. And
So
then
that fills me up.
I like to fill you up. It makes me
I got
happy.
filled.
Mm. All right. And did you struggle with issues from your vice? So go ahead and X that out and pick yourself a new special ability. If you don't know yet, you don't have to pick it now.
Yeah, I'm debating two of them right now.
Okay. But did you struggle with issues from your vices or trauma during this session?
I did overindulge, which caused a complication. Is that considered struggling with my vice?
That is struggling with your vice, yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, you get an extra XP on that too. So you will get to pick. I don't know if you want to pick it now or not.
Well, I'm kind of thinking between. I feel like, especially after this episode, that me and Cordelia have a thing going on here, and so I'm considering taking. Well, not like that. But there's an ability called Ghost Fighter.
Yes.
It says you may imbue your hands, melee weapons, or tools with spirit energy. You gain potency in combat versus the supernatural, and you may grapple with spirits to restrain and capture them. And I'm wondering if I can go after that one, saying maybe she's helped learn about the spirit world. Or I could go bodyguard and just, like, when I gather info to anticipate possible threats to the current situation, I can get +1 effect.
Basically, just go like Roxy's gonna go.
I think bodyguard is where I should go. But I'm thinking thematically. Maybe I'll go Ghost Fighter later.
I like them both, and I think either one. I think either one is fine. For your character,
I feel like the spirit one would be better.
I think I'll save that one for after her and I have more talks about it, because I'm not even trained in Attune. I feel like I want to be trained in Attune before I do that.
That makes sense. So you're going bodyguard?
That's probably not a bad
I'll go
idea.
bodyguard. Yeah, I'll just do bodyguard. That'll work.
And then last but not least, we take a look at crew XP. I'm also going to give the crew 2 coin. Today, I'll just do that right now. Because I feel weird. Even though you didn't do a score, you've gained some reputation and some cachet, I think, that would... this essentially represents a line of credit with your new buddy, Eldrin, right? And so it's not like cash in hand, but I feel like given the roleplay that you guys did and you convincing him to essentially sponsor you, you've got a little extra line of credit there. But did you execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation?
No.
Yeah, you guys didn't do a score this time. I think that's fine. But did you contend with challenges above your current station?
I feel like those spirits were above our station.
Yeah, that's absolutely one.
That thing at the end was like, woof.
Yep, that's absolutely one.
I think Eldrin was certainly above our station.
Eldrin was absolutely above your station.
Eldrin was above my station, let's be honest.
So Kim has a question about the tier. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't understand how you increased a tier, because that was for advantage, so I'm trying to just figure out how that works.
Yeah, so everything in this game has a tier rating to it, right? And it's how good or strong or powerful or rich it is, right? It's an arbitrary mark of its strength in the world. And so instead of saying that I increased the effect of one roll on you guys, I decided to make lure and the story around lure more narratively interesting than I was originally going to make it, by increasing its strength by 1. So so originally the lure storyline was going to be like a tier 3 storyline, and now it's a tier 4 storyline, which is it's high powered and kind of terrifying, but nothing that a plucky group of cutthroats couldn't handle, but it is more powerful than it was because of it.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Sweet. So you did contend with... Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
We lost 2 heat because of that thing I did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
I think we bolstered it a little bit too with Eldrin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually give you guys... Yeah, I think with Eldrin and then with the downtime stuff that Camages did to reduce your heat, and I also think the duel did a little bit as well to bolster your reputation. I would give you... Actually, speaking of which, I also wanted to give you guys 2 rep for today. Even though you did not complete the... I am playing a little bit looser with the rules because I want to reward the roleplay and I want to reward the actual work you're doing to build the crew, even if there isn't a score that happened. Does that make sense to you guys, and does that feel fair?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because reputation
I think
it's all of it.
Does.
Yeah. So yeah, I would 100% give you guys 2 XP for bolstering reputation and developing a new one.
Oh, so we get 2 more XP?
Yeah.
So we're at 4 for today.
Sweet.
And then the last one is, did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I think so.
I think so too.
In trying to bargain
Yeah.
with Eldrin, I think we
Mhm.
expressed
Yeah.
what that crew is about. Like, we can get jobs
Yeah.
done. We want to work with you.
I understand
I
that,
think
and I
so.
would agree. Yeah, that's one. Is there an argument for a second?
I don't think so. I think that was the only one that was
I don't think so either.
crew specific.
I mean, unless we
Yeah.
getting the info from Queenie, and then going and investigating that, unless that is also expressing our goal of being an espionage kind of thing, like we're gathering
Yeah.
information.
That could be. I mean,
I
that
can
was
see that.
using all of our assets.
I feel like
Yeah.
since I got XP for that individually,
That's okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I just don't want to. I don't want to be greedy.
We'll get
Yeah.
XP for it.
Yep.
So we're gonna.
I'm
get
going to
that
say
done.
yes. I'm going to
Okay.
say because,
So that's 2.
yeah, the essential nature of the crew, to me, is, from what you guys have defined, is to become power players within the nobility, power players and secret brokers within the nobility, essentially behind the curtain kingmakers, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And so to me, uncovering a major secret like that expresses both a drive of the crew and kind of the essential nature of the crew, right? So just because you get rewarded for it because you're the one who did it, that's your XP, Kimages, and that's awesome. But that also feeds into the crew, so you're not just helping yourself with it, you're also helping the crew. So I think
Okay.
you both get it, and that's where my logic comes from there. Yeah.
That's
So
perfectly fine
that's
with
2
me.
of us.
Yeah.
So that's 2 for the crew, but 2 for like our characters.
No, Kimages got the XP for being the one who interacted directly with the ghost field and all that stuff. But then, yeah, you guys are at 9 out of your 10 XP, where you've
Yeah.
got 1 XP left until you level, or are able to spend the money to level, and you will need 8 coin to do that. So you'll need to think about how to. I'm also going to give you guys 2 heat
So that was crew XP.
from the duel.
Now, when she sent the ghosts out to say, "Hey, leave us alone," does that
Yep.
doesn't reduce that?
That was how we
Yeah.
got from like 4 heat to 1
Oh.
heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
And now we're back up to 3 heat.
Yep. Yeah, heat's going to constantly go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. All right.
Yeah, it is.
And that, guys, is the end of the game.
Sweet.
Yay.
Did everyone have a good
What a
time?
game it is.
Loved it.
Excellent.
Yeah, the
I
more we
love this
as
game.
usual.
I'm so excited to play this.
Yeah. So the more we play this, the more I feel like we're finding the places to roleplay in it too, and we're getting like we're just
Yeah.
figuring out how to do that. And I'm okay going 3 hours without a score if we had a game like we had today, right?
Me
Because
too.
it was a whole bunch of crazy shit that happened, and it was all in the open roleplay section, and I love it, right?
I love being a badass chick. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I like being an impulsive, violent asshole. I don't feel like I'm an asshole about it. I just feel like I sense any kind of danger and I just want to punch it in the face.
I don't feel
And-
like an asshole, but I am an asshole.
I'm just feeling it. Other people might feel differently, but
All right, so let's go around the room and have everybody say a little bit about themselves. We're going to start with Mr. Songbird himself, Castle Mac Steven. If you have any other reflections on the day, or if you just want to give yourself a shout out.
Sweet. Both, yeah. I love it. I love Blade Dark. I definitely like getting into the evilness of Songbird, which is not at all ever the character I play, except when I'm a DM and playing an evil NPC. So it is kind of fun to get super evil. I enjoy it. I like his character. He's horrible. You can find me on Twitter at CastleMacSteven and CastleMac on Twitch, where we play lots and lots of D&D. So that's me.
Thank you, sir. Miss Ayami.
Yeah, I had fun as I always do on this RPG stream, whichever you would like to refer to. But I love playing this game. Like, I've never played it before, and like learning the mechanics of it, I really love it. It's really awesome. So yeah, I'm Yami302. You guys can find me on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. Same handle, pretty much across the board. Yeah, I'm actually gonna be on another stream on the Forefronts on Tuesday, 5 p.m. EST. We're gonna be playing Mouse Guard. I will be playing Ellie. She is a scientist mouse. So yeah, if you guys want to go check him out, go follow, give him a follow, whatever. You guys can find me there.
Four is awesome.
Yeah,
Four is awesome.
yeah, he's amazing. He's so funny. He's so great. I love Four. You know, he's been such a good DM to us, and as far as Mouse Guard and some other ones go too. And he's a huge fan of this channel too. So you guys should definitely go check him out. But yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to get back into streaming on my own, but right now financial's not kind of worked out. So if you guys just follow my Twitter or see me on Discord, I usually announce it if I am going live. So I'm gonna try and get back into that. Don't know when, but be on the lookout for that. So
sweet. Van Rand
has had a blast being crazy and angry and impulsive, and I love it. I love it. I love this game. You can find me literally everywhere as Than Rand. So I'm Twitter, Instagram, Steam, Twitch, where I stream a lot. I'm actually, because I usually stream during the days at 10 a.m. Central Time, but I'm actually starting a job the week after next, or week after this week.
woohoo.
So I'm going to be streaming at night, probably around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Central Time. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm excited, and thankfully this job will not interfere with any of my 3 D&D games that I'm in on this channel. So very excited about that.
Yay! And then the lovely partner in crime for all things welcome to the party related, it is Miss Kimages herself.
I'm Kimages, and my Twitter is at KimagesTV, and I play D&D here on Fridays as a Asmar sorcerer, and then I was Cordelia today, and did a lot of debaucherous things, and it was excellent. And yeah, today was really fun, and if you guys like regular video games in addition to D&D, I play 2 during the week, except for Fridays and Sundays, of course.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, I'm Throck Plays, and we're gonna, as we do at the end of every single one of these, get a raid out there. I have never heard of these people before, but they sounded amazing when I clicked on their channel. They're called Gratuitous RP, so give a little welcome to the party love once we get over there, and we love you guys. We will be back actually in 45 minutes with Tales from the Kingdom of Five with Bardic Knock as the storyteller, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys!
Bye.
Bye-bye!